Wow, that sounds so crisp in my ears.
Yeah, that's a nice way to start a Tuesday.
So great.
I feel good. Yesterday morning was so much more fun starting the show. Maybe I slept better the night before. I don't know.
You can't start with I feel good, and then, I mean, if you're going to do yesterday was more fun, why would you start with I feel good?
Well, that's a good way to get people paying attention, because they like to hear when I'm happy.
I see.
I have an announcement, too.
Oh, good.
I talked to Dana White.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a different announcement, finally.
No, I spoke to Dana White. And he said that they're announcing that in April, Conor McGregor will be fighting an iPhone. I know.
Okay, Jay.
Boo.
That's a real Leno monologue joke.
I know. It's a real late night TV.
I like it.
It's cutesy.
Yeah, they found Conor McGregor's next opponent. It's
an iPhone.
It's an iPhone. Ooh. Yeah, Conor McGregor partying in Miami Beach. I would imagine partying. He's walking around at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not really... and you're in Miami Beach. What else are you doing?
It's funny. It's shit like this. It's a stupid moment.
Yeah.
That you don't see that could completely derail you, because they're charging him. What, was he's just being a dick when a fan is trying to take a picture? Maybe he's with his wife or something.
So it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, they said, I think. And he walked out of a hotel. Some fan was taking photos with his phone. Who knows if the fan was saying shit to him? Who knows how many photos he was taking, what the context was? But Conor McGregor ended up slapping the phone out of his hand and then stomping on the phone. And then the article that I read said he picked it up and took it with him. So they got him on robbery, because he took the phone with him. They got him on...
strong-arm robbery.
Strong-arm robbery, destruction of property. Like, they started listing the charges because the guy immediately went and pressed charges on him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it was and that's a felony. I think he's been charged with a felony.
Yeah, it is a felony.
And it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, I don't think he's a citizen. I mean, I think he's just travels back and forth to fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. I mean, Conor McGregor does not want to get banned from fighting in the United States for 2 years or whatever the fuck they could do to you if there's a criminal
especially
problem.
At this point in his life. Because how old is he now? 30?
30.
Is he 30?
I think so, yeah. He's a young guy. But he lost his last fight to Khabib, and he doesn't have another fight set up. They keep trying to put him with Cowboy Cerrone, and that just didn't get done.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah.
He's got the money, but it's like you don't want to blow fight opportunities over some stupid shit like that.
That's costing you a lot of money, a lot more than the $12,000 that you had to post for bail bond.
I mean, it's just so silly.
He was able to post it a lot quicker than R. Kelly posted his bail, which is good.
But his was a lot less.
It was. I also think that he was maybe working from a little bit more.
You think he had a little more capital to dip into?
I do. I think that he had more liquid income available.
What a foolish thing to do. You're probably coming home late, drunk from a club with your friend or your wife. You don't want your picture taken. Find a fucking better way to handle that. We've all wanted to slap someone's phone because they're talking. I was on a plane, I guess now it's about a month ago, and there was a guy, we were delayed, and he was sitting there, and he's fucking yapping, and I mean yapping. And we were taxiing, and they were allowing him to talk while I couldn't believe the leniency.
I mean, how about when we were in Tampa? You don't think that old man that was sitting at the table just a couple yards away from us when I was FaceTiming with my kid and my wife in the middle of the restaurant, you don't think that old man wanted to come over and slap that shit right out of my hand? He was complaining about it loudly with his wife. You know he wanted to come over, and I'm sure...
I wanted to slap it out of your hand, and I was right next to you.
I'm sure that he doesn't have to lose what Conor has to lose.
Yeah, and it was just a completely... Dana must be going, what the fuck?
Yeah, because... And
it's a felony.
Yeah. And every article about it, they're talking about Conor and bringing up the thing he did in Brooklyn where he threw the forklift into the bus or whatever he did.
It's two instances of like violent behavior towards someone who's not in the... It's a really stupid thing.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to put out this image of the UFC as a legitimate sport and not something that's dangerous or savage or whatever. Yeah.
Don't you think he tries to do this for his image?
I don't think he's doing that. At 5 o'clock in the morning, walking around Miami Beach.
Yeah, it's anger.
Smashing phones. I don't think that you're being strategic.
And if it was an image thing, like he thinks he's untouchable, it's just stupid. Then all of a sudden you get charged with a felony. It's like, come on. Do I think anything major will happen? No. I think the guy will probably drop the charges and say it was a misunderstanding because they'll pay him. But it's still a stupid fucking thing. Because what if you did that and you hurt the guy?
Right.
What if you got mad and you kicked the guy and he falls over and he breaks his arm? Now you have an assault. Like... They will boot you.
And especially a guy who's, I mean, if a guy's pressing charges on you for knocking a phone out of his hand,
Yeah.
you don't think the guy, if he had any option, all Conor McGregor has to do is poke somebody and they're going to fall down and try to break their leg
course.
and blame Conor. He's the most famous fighter in the world.
I'm hoping to bump into him.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a soccer-like pratfall. If he shakes my hand, I'm going to claim injury.
Yeah. And I don't think this helps his image anyway. I mean, I don't, at this point, he's doing whiskey commercials. I mean, he's in all kinds of businesses.
Yeah, but people are talking about him.
He doesn't need it. People are talking about him regardless.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time your name comes up, it's people are talking about you.
Well, the problem is that he's on, I guess he's traveling here to work, but I think they could kick him out. They could ban him from working here if his visa's pulled. That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, now you're talking about government stuff. There's nothing
a lot you can do. Yeah. Connections will help. I mean, but because he's such a famous guy. But I mean, this is a bad example. But fucking Boy George at one point couldn't come here to perform because he had something happen over in London. I think with heroin. Like if you get busted with certain things, doesn't matter who you are. They'll cut the visa and you just can't work here.
At the same time, though, he's lucky that UFC is an international sport.
Sure,
he doesn't need to work in the U.S.
He does. Well,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but he could fight in.
He could, but the money in Vegas is better than the money anywhere. There was talks about him fighting in Russia, fighting Khabib in Russia, but that's not going to happen.
UFC
Ireland, the time for some reason Ireland wouldn't work. I think it's the time difference. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe he could fight in England. It's just not as big there as it would be here.
No, it's not. I mean, if he couldn't come into the country, UFC would absolutely just figure out international shows so they could get their money out of him. But you're right. It wouldn't. You'd be missing out on money.
It's Vegas, and your press is in Vegas. I mean, yeah, you could do it remotely, and yeah, I don't know why he's not fighting in Ireland. If it's the time difference that makes it so difficult, or is there? Oh, it might be curfews in Ireland. There is a reason that he's not doing it.
And let's be honest. What's the point of being rich if you can't get into America? That's the whole point.
Yeah,
you get all this money, and you can't come into America. It's the best place to spend your money.
Yeah.
Who wants to be rich and not spend their money in America?
Although London's pretty good too.
I mean, it's good, but it's one city. America's got tons of Londons.
That's true.
We got cities all over the place. You could just drive there, fly, whatever you want to do.
Miami's in the States.
Actually, that's a great point, Jim. Miami is in the United States, and that's just one of the many cities that we have.
The Big Apple. Lest we forget.
Is that Chicago?
No, it's New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not good with the nicknames, but yeah. But Chicago is also in the United States, or no?
It sure is.
Okay.
The windiest of cities.
That's right. That's the local, little local slang.
Welcome to the windiest of cities.
Yeah, I know. We're a national show, so it's important that we relate to.
Yeah, the local people.
To even the windiest of cities.
Well, how about Rain City out in Seattle?
Yeah, you got to. Connor may not be able to go to Rain City anymore.
Guntown, Texas.
The whole state?
Guntown, yeah.
I see. They just named the state.
Cool nicknames.
I mean, it's a giant state. They just name it a town?
Yep.
I see.
Sure.
I see. Guntown.
Yep.
You got to be able to go to all these spots.
I'm 1 for 30 so far this morning.
And
1 for 30.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2?
2 for 30.
Is that your Conor McGregor's going to fight an iPhone? Is that counting one of them?
1 for 30.
Yeah.
I'm 1 for 30.
Yeah, I mean,
stupid move.
I think he'll be fine, but it's just Dana White needs this like he needs a bullet in his brain. He doesn't need this,
dude. Plus, he did get a sweetheart plea deal, a
for the other
$50,000 fine and 6-month suspension, which was nothing. I mean, which is for him is easy.
Of course it is. He does that standing on his head.
Yes, because 6 months anyway. You're going to take time off to heal after a fight.
Yeah, the issue, too, is that when he does the next stupid thing, because clearly he's going to do something else stupid, he doesn't learn anything because he keeps getting off. When you can get away with everything, why would you stop doing anything? You can just get away with it. This is going to... The next time he does something stupid, they go, wait a minute. Aren't you slapping phones out of people's hands and crushing them and getting felony charges and everything? We can't just keep being lenient.
Yeah, because this is not another fighter. This is a fan.
It's just a guy.
And now Dana's going to probably be very harsh.
Yeah, but
unless there's more to it, like unless the guy was being a real dick and not saying, like unless there's something that we just don't know.
Dana will probably be harsh in the moment and like get very upset, but he'll probably not levy huge punishments against Conor because Conor's the one guy in the entire industry of mixed martial arts that really controls his own destiny. Like, nobody is making money the way he's making money. He's the guy that if Dana White wants to put on a pay-per-view that's going to appeal to mainstream, not just MMA fans, Conor's the guy that you put on the poster. And there's nobody else even remotely near his level.
No.
Not even remotely. You had like Ronda Rousey. You could maybe make that argument that when she was still winning fights.
Jones is a very big draw too, but he's not as big as Conor, I'm sure. But I mean, Jones is also a big draw.
And he could be, if he starts winning fights without steroids, he could end up being a huge deal. But that steroid thing is hard to erase.
Yeah.
You know, especially when there's, what was it, 3 suspensions, 2 suspensions, whatever it was?
I think so, yeah, 3.
And people don't know.
3.
Yeah. People don't know. People aren't doing the research and going through the intricacies of what really happened. They're just like, oh, that's the steroid guy.
So they say when I walk in.
Why do they say that?
I don't know. It's nothing funny to say. I'm going to throw that in.
Let's go to Jason in Carolina. What's up, Jason?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good
I have a question. What contract did McGregor sign with UFC? Didn't he get some massive, like, $100 million deal?
Yeah, I'm sure he did because, I mean, he stopped fighting for a while because he was campaigning to get ownership stake, right?
Yeah, or a piece of the company.
Is that guaranteed, or can they get him on breach of contract because he keeps getting in trouble?
I don't know. I mean, plus this hasn't been played out yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not gonna get him on breach anyway. I mean, he's still Conor McGregor, and he's still 30 years old.
And they want him under contract.
Oh yeah, they don't want to give him. They don't want him out.
Yeah.
Because again, if Conor McGregor wanted to make a lot of money, the money he makes now is incredible. He'll never make more than that Mayweather fight, but he literally could go to WWE.
Make millions.
And be the biggest thing in that company.
For one choreographed fight, he can make millions of dollars.
Do you think so?
Easy.
Would they hire him?
Oh my God.
Shouldn't that be the move, though? Like, what
In a
happens if he
heartbeat.
loses another fight or another 2 fights? Then
His draw is not necessarily... Winning is great, but it's also the fact that he is such an entertaining shit talker.
Yeah.
And he always feels like he can beat you. There's always something about him where you're like, yeah, he could knock you out because he has one of the hardest punches in the division. So, I mean, if not the hardest left in the division. So I do think that people are like, fuck it, I still want to see him fight. I'd still watch him fight after 2 more losses. I'd still be in.
Yeah, when you're commanding like 8 figures per MMA fight, I think you stick with MMA for a while. And then eventually, because you can lose. When he loses it in MMA and he starts losing fights in 2, 3, 4, however many fights in a row, and you realize the magic's gone, you could still bring him over to WWE and have people get in a frenzy. I mean, that's what happened with Ronda.
Yeah.
You know, she was done in MMA, but she shows up in WWE. She's kicking people's asses. She's talking shit. It's interesting again.
Well, she was done mentally. Because, I mean, she still could have fought in MMA, but she wouldn't do press conferences. She wouldn't do interviews about it.
Yeah.
Mentally, I think she was kind of just finished with it. But if she wanted to fight, she could have. And everybody wants to fight him. Because there's so much money. He's such a draw. Everybody wants to fucking fight him.
Except that guy's iPhone.
No, exactly. John Jones would lose 50 pounds to fight him if he could. What, Travis? I'm sorry.
It's a 6-fight contract. The first fight was Khabib.
Yes, so he's got 5
So he still got 5 more.
Yeah.
But from what I read, unless his deal is different, no UFC contracts are guaranteed money or guaranteed security. Like they can, release.
They can kill those contracts.
They have to offer you fights every year, though. I think they have to offer you fights.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but
And I'm sure he's turning down fights.
Yeah, it's basically just you can't go anywhere else and fight. We've got you for 6.
Oh, okay.
Right, just to make sure you're not going to go and do something with Bellator or whatever, any of these other spots.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that. He would make Bellator a lot bigger if he went there, but I don't see him doing that.
No, he's not gonna go down.
WWE is probably a lateral.
Yeah, I think
move,
so.
Company size wise,
I think so. Yeah, go and do something in a stadium. Yeah,
right.
I think that's what, and that's. But I think that's an eventuality. I don't think that's happening soon.
What do you think? Because I'll tell you one thing. I mean, WWE as far as the event, do you think he could do a giant stadium in Dubai?
Absolutely, but I think it wouldn't even be in. Yes, absolutely, but I think they'd get him ready for WrestleMania. They'd do it in a stadium here.
No, but they couldn't get him in here.
Oh, you mean if they? Yeah, If he got charged with this felony and they couldn't get him in the States,
right.
Yeah,
and then he got released someday.
Yeah, absolutely. They do a stadium in the UK. I mean, WWE is probably, I don't know if it's more global than the UFC, but it's certainly as global as the UFC. It might be more global than the UFC.
Yeah, it's been there longer. I
Yeah.
mean, wrestling's been there for fucking 40 years.
Yeah, it's a huge
There's generations
global
of
company.
people who've loved these, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think they would have any problem filling up a stadium anywhere. They go to Australia and fill up a stadium with Conor McGregor, Are there stadiums in Ireland? They'd fill up a Can you imagine?
There's a reason they're not doing it in Ireland. I don't know exactly technically what. Can you look at why is UFC not? I don't know exactly.
I mean, fuck it. WWE, they've got their own network. If you got to do it at noon in Ireland, they just do a stadium at noon. As long as they can fill up a stadium with Conor McGregor, they do it. So
I don't know why they're not fighting.
But I think that he'll get his way out of it. Conor McGregor's got enough money that he can get out of this. Whether he's got to pay the guy off to not press charges, or he's just got to. I think he'll get out of this one. I just think it's a dumb look.
It's stupid. Yeah,
it's really stupid. I don't understand people who achieve that level of success, have that kind of money, really have that much to lose. No matter, I'm sure he walks around thinking like he's got nothing to lose. He's got everything to lose, and they still do this dumb shit.
Yep.
I mean, I think if I had that kind of money for something, I'd try to just stay home as much as possible. Just not do anything.
Yeah, protect the moolah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's business talk.
Yeah,
I don't want to go over people's heads. Sound like a college kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these guys like that clip of Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, losing his mind.
Can we see that clip? 'Cause I didn't watch the clip. I read it. I didn't see it.
Oh my god, reading it is going to do it no justice because you can see in his face James Dolan. Owns the Knicks.
Yeah, what a baby.
And he's walking out of the arena the other night. And of course, the Knicks are a terrible basketball team. But he's walking out of the arena the other night. And this fan shouts down at him, "Sell the Knicks." And he completely, he gets so butthurt.
Yeah.
So quickly. Wait till you hear what he says, and it's legit. You look at him.
Your thin-skinned is exactly. He's a baby.
He comes across like a thin-skinned wiener in this clip.
Yeah.
Just a real wiener, a wealthy, rich wiener
with his fucking band.
Yeah, he's still a cool guy. No, I like to play music on the side. He's walking around with all these chicks.
Yeah,
he's got
a
harem of chicks, an R. Kelly harem of chicks. Just walking with him, just so people know.
Yeah.
That's insecure millionaires.
Hey, whoa.
Befuddle me.
Yeah.
They befuddle me. You would think that at some point, you own the Knicks.
Well, who knows what those women are? They look young. They might be his daughters or his nieces.
I hope they are. Because if he has to just walk around with hot chicks so people know that he's cool, it's like, dude, how much do you have to do? I guess that feeling never goes away. Oh. That feeling of I want people to think I'm cool never goes away.
Yeah, but maybe he's fucking one of them and those are the friends.
Yeah, that's true.
But but he's parading them around on purpose. Like he wants people to see.
But they might be his kid. I don't know.
I hope that they're
really young.
I hope they're his family.
They look really young.
I hope he's fucking them.
Well, I know you do, Troy. I mean, you'd be that guy. If you fell into money, you'd be like, let me walk around with hot chicks so people know.
I'd be fucking one of them and say, round up your friends. Let's go.
Yeah, but you would.
What if they wanted to force him?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
But you wouldn't have to walk into your arena, your basket. He's at work. Like, it'd be like you walking into the radio show.
How great would that be? I'd love to bring in 3 girls.
Yeah, Jim wouldn't care.
And they just sit here.
Sit those whores on the couch. Right. Yuck it up.
And I go, Jim, why you got 3 hot chicks with you?
And they would laugh and clap at everything I said.
Right.
Find me amusing.
And I go, Jim, you're making all this money. You're successful. You really have to have chicks applauding for you everywhere you go, so that people think you're cool?
I don't make them clap. They just do.
Clap!
They would just do it.
Yeah. I don't know how to hog tie.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. I've always felt like when you cheat, being understated and successful is a cool move.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
It's also showing off your wealth.
Mm.
I mean, I'm all about that. You know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I can tell by the way you dress.
This is about as wealthy as I get.
I want to hear James
open flannel and a t-shirt is about my economic status right now. I'm working on showing off my wealth.
Yeah, look, I show mine off.
See, Jim is understated. Jim is sitting on piles of cash, but he walks in
and fists.
And that's what it is. Yeah, he's spending it all on fists. But here he is. He's walking with the hot chicks so that everybody knows how cool he is. His basketball team is losing
terribly,
horribly, but not badly enough. Like that, it's frustrating Knicks fans,
right?
because they're going, if we're going to lose this badly. I was doing, the only reason I know this, I don't know anything about sports. The only reason I know this is because I was doing Andrew Schultz's podcast last night, and they were talking about it. And they were saying that, the top 3 worst NBA teams right now are all kind of equaled. So Knicks fans are double pissed because not only does the team suck, but they don't suck enough to guarantee that first draft pick next season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sell the team! Anything I should sell the team? You want to not come to any more games? Why? Yeah, that's rude. It's an opinion. No, it's not an opinion. And you know what? Enjoy watching them on TV.
Him, what? Bring him here. Him, hold him for Kevin. Hold him for Kevin. Hold him for Kevin.
What
See,
a
it was
fucking dick.
At first you think he's joking around, but then he actually gets the security people.
Him, that guy
right there.
That guy.
You think I should sell the team, do you? Well, guess what? You can't come to any more games.
If the guy said, scream curses at him or whatever, sell the team.
Attacked his family.
Your team is losing that badly, and a fan says sell the team, and that's what it takes you? What a dick.
At least he's good at comebacks.
You think I should sell the team?
That's an opinion. That's not an opinion.
yeah. I'm going to side
Marion.
with
Not an opinion. Yeah, no, it's yours.
You're an opinion.
You're an opinion. Yeah, I'm going to side with the guy in the audience here. I think it actually is an opinion.
Oh, is it?
I think what the man in the audience is trying to express is, I think that you should sell the team.
And then they throw the guy out. What fucking
And ban him.
assholes.
They said he couldn't go to any more games.
I wonder if that will get overturned.
It's got to. I mean,
What a fucking dick.
I'm assuming that James Dolan didn't realize that this would end up on TMZ and the video would go everywhere. He didn't even look like he knows he's being videoed. But what's he going to do when he walks into Madison Square Garden and the fans start chanting, "Sell the team"?
Yeah.
Sell the
I hope
You're
that
all banned. All of you go
I hope
home.
that everyone fucking screams that at him. This fucking dick.
If you're going to a Knicks game and you see what the owner of your team is doing, you should absolutely be taking every single chance you can to yell, "Sell the team" at him.
And all they'll be
Everybody.
doing is yelling it behind him
Everybody.
when no one's looking. What a stupid ass. Did he handle that wrong?
But it's that he's insecure. Being a millionaire, sometimes they can't buy good decision
You
making.
own the Knicks. They stink. The fans are going to get on you. That's part of owning the New York Knicks. Stupid.
Yeah, like when you own a team that is bringing arenas full of people, or maybe not a full arena full, but you're looking at all these people that have bought tickets to this game, and they're all buying tickets to see this shitty team that you own.
Yeah, the guy, because you're rude. You're rude.
Yeah, it's a what? That's the least rude thing that you could yell at a New York sports game.
And a New York guy just yelled, "Sell the team." He didn't yell, "Fuck you." He didn't
No.
yell, "You suck."
He didn't even say suck. Hey, sell the team. It's just this momentary thing where you're like, oh my God, that's the owner. Wouldn't it be funny if, hey, sell the team?
Can we see that again? Yeah, that's really irritating.
You're looking around. You're like, my team sold all these tickets. That guy who's yelling at me, I get his money.
Yeah.
You should sit there. That's enough. He bought a ticket that I'm getting money for to tell me to sell the team. Good. Enjoy yelling at me. Keep buying tickets.
He's probably showing off for these people who he's walking with.
The chicks?
Yeah, or those whoever they are.
Hey,
Throw
you
them
know,
out.
you know what kind of power I have? Yeah, we know what kind of power you have. We got it. You're the owner of the team. You don't have to exercise your power on some guy. You're coming off like a. I mean, is it just me or does he come across like a wiener?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of a weenie.
Sell the team! Anything I should sell the team?
Don't you think so?
You want to not come to any more games? Why? Yeah, that's rude.
Could you pause for a second? That's rude. He goes, "You want to not come to any more games?" The guy's like, "Why?" You could see in the moment that James Dolan, he's like, "Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm." I think
rude.
I think in that moment he doesn't quite know what he's doing. Like,
But I don't wanna.
I don't want to because I don't want to sell the team. Like this isn't a business meeting. We're not sitting here at a conference table where I'm not actually pitching you on selling the team and insulting you. I'm a guy who lives in a fucking apartment.
Yeah, who's been watching your dog shit team all year.
Yeah. It's some douchebag who lives in Staten Island, who's got a jersey on his wall.
A wife and kids,
yeah.
and he's fucking taking time away from to come watch your shit team.
He comes to escape. He's got one escape in life. He's got his job. He's got to deal with his awful wife, his dumb kid. He's got one escape in life. It's the New York Knickerbockers. And unfortunately, when he finally gets to go to a game, they lose again.
Again. And your team, and by the way, boy, this will not take being heckled. One guy heckles you. I mean, I admire. Here's what I admire.
A guy.
If I could have people banned from comedy clubs forever for talking, in a second I would do it.
Yeah, but you know what? That's them ruining your show. Right? That's them ruining your show. If somebody's interrupting your show to talk, like comedy's not the same as sports.
Let's address Dave in Cleveland. It's a fair question.
Oh, yep. Dave has figured out the.
I love the show. I just want to know, Jim. Don't you ban people on Twitter when they insult you?
I know. I never ban. I don't ban people. Hold on. I'll tell you.
Block them.
I haven't blocked anybody in a long time because I'm really not on that much.
You shadow ban though. You know Jack from
that's
Twitter,
right.
and
Jack and I have
him shadow ban people.
And honestly, dude, for someone to be, there's been times where I've been thin-skinned, and I've even said that. But I think someone has to be like a particular cunt to me for me to actually block them.
But
I'll mute somebody before I'll block them.
Blocking people on Twitter would be the equivalent of James Dolan going like, well, going forward, I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
This would be like if somebody was tweeting you.
And then I kicked them off Twitter.
You kicked them off Twitter entirely.
I don't kick people off Twitter, David.
Well, they can still watch the games on TV.
You know,
He's gonna make sure they got at every entrance of the arena so they can't get in.
They do. They actually probably will have a face picture. When they ban you, it's kind of hard for you to get. And plus, the guy might be a season ticket holder. So if he tells them to find out where this guy sits. If he's a season ticket holder, they can fuck him. If he's just a random guy coming, he'll be able to come back to a Knick game next week.
Hey, David, you want to listen from home and not call the show anymore? Travis, do we have the number?
Yeah.
Do we have the number? Okay, enjoy.
Hold David.
Please,
David.
please don't.
Hold him. Hold David.
But yeah, you have to be kind of a dick for me to block you. But yeah, it's a fair point. But I don't ban you from Twitter. I don't threaten to kick people off Twitter.
You did block me at one time, Jim, though.
Well, then why don't you just say that when you call?
This is a personal vendetta.
What did you say that I blocked you? Tell me the truth.
This was back in the day. You guys were making fun of some kid, and I said the kid looked like you, and you blocked me.
That's probably me being hypersensitive. Why would I block you for saying that?
It is weird on Twitter sometimes that you don't put into context that everybody is just like, oh, I was listening to the show. We were all having fun. You go home, you're out of the context of the show. Somebody makes a joke about you, and you go, well, fuck you, you know?
Plus, is it really that big of a deal when you have a public profile? You can just still read Jim's tweets just not logged in.
Oh, you want to read the tweet without logging in? You want to not be able to read it logged in anymore?
Hey, if you give
I
them,
can read his tweets.
Not that you care, but if you want me to unblock you, just give them your Twitter off the off air, and I'll unblock you. I have to put it back on my phone.
You actually did block me. I reached out to you, and you unblocked me, so we're all good.
Oh, I did. Okay, see, I was reasonable about it. That's it. Maybe James Dolan will be reasonable. Men of power, like James and myself, tend to be reasonable.
The empires that you guys maintain.
Jimmy,
That's right.
I love the same job in Cleveland on Sunday.
Thank you very
David,
much,
thanks
Dave.
a lot, man.
By the way, real quick, Cleveland is a great fucking city.
Oh, I think you're going to say sex act.
I'm not the steamer. The people of
Little
Cleveland.
chest punishment.
The people of Cleveland are amazing. Everywhere I was going in Cleveland, I mean, not every single thing in Cleveland is great, but the people in Cleveland are great. I felt like everywhere that I was going, I was finding people who listen to the radio show. You know, I went over to the mall, went to like the movie theater, I went to some restaurant across the street from the hotel, in the arena, everywhere that I was going. People in Cleveland love this radio show. And,
good. Yeah,
I
Cleveland has been
appreciated
very good.
all the nice words from everybody. Let's go to Matt in North Jersey. What's up, Matt?
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Matt.
So I just want to talk about, I don't know, I'm on delay here on the app, but what a piece of shit James Dolan is. He owns Cablevision. I'm pretty sure he owns Madison Square Garden, the Rangers, and the Knicks.
Oh, do you like your cable? How about what if you don't get to watch on cable anymore either? I can do that,
Does he own the Garden? I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't
I'm pretty sure he owns a stake in the Garden. I myself have his stupid fucking Optimum bullshit, paying $250 a month for the bullshit service that I
Fuck
really only
Fios.
fucking
Fuck
internet
it.
for.
He's the executive chairman and CEO of the Madison Square Garden company.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit. I'm a fucking Knicks fan. I'm 31 years old. He's been a fucking detriment to my childhood.
Yeah.
He's brought nothing. I mean, he brought the Rangers a fucking cup, but who gives a fuck about hockey?
But now you're sitting here at 31. You're not a kid anymore. You're an adult. You need an escape from this nonsense life. It's too much. You need to have your escape. You want to turn on your childhood team. And you're going, how can they still fucking suck? It's been so many years. How can they still suck this bad?
Yeah.
Yep.
This guy's a fucking businessman, doesn't give a fuck about the city, doesn't give a fuck about winning. They sell out no matter what because these fucking idiots buy tickets to the
Hey,
game.
I only buy if they're winning. That's how it is. If you want to go see your team, make sure they're winning.
That's called being a
no, it's not
bandwagon.
No, it's not.
Jumper.
Spend your money wisely.
No.
But you don't even watch at home if they're losing.
That's,
go-
no.
You
It's
stopped watching the
You go
Cowboys.
try to see how much it is to go see a fucking Knick game, even when they suck.
Yeah, you give me a shit product. I'm not going to fucking pay for it.
Hey, cancel Matt's cable.
You can't even get a cheap StubHub ticket for a fucking game.
Oh, I don't care. Do I cancel Matt's cable? I don't want him watching anything on cable anymore.
How much is a Knicks ticket? Like, how much is one ticket?
Thank you very much,
I
man.
think you can sit.
Oh no, go ahead.
I think you can sit in the 200s for like just under $100.
No way.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's way too expensive.
And let's go to
Thank you,
Leonard
bud.
in Georgia. Has some important questions.
Leonard.
Hey, how are y'all doing this morning?
Hello,
Jimmy,
buddy. Yes, sir.
big fan. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to come and see you one day at your comedy shows. And I'm a comedy show virgin. I want to know the proper etiquette. When I get there, do I holler, I love you, Jimmy?
Yes.
Or is that messing your flow up?
That's a fair question.
This is a serious question. I want to know, where do you draw the line between, say, heckling and actual, I'm your biggest fan. You do your thing.
Jim likes it when you wait till the middle of the show and you yell out, "Win one for the chippa."
That's actually that's incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Now I would say that's a fair point that you make. A very fair point.
Yeah.
No, you go like I'm going to be in Orlando Friday and Saturday at the Improvisation, Leonard. If you can drive down from Georgia, that would be a show of respect. What you are to do is to applaud loudly, and when you're going to yell Jim Norton things, you do it while the other comedians are on stage. You demand my presence while the other comedians are on. Once I, as we like to say, take the stage, you laugh and applaud all the way through the show, yelling nothing. At the very end, you stand up and demand an encore after I leave.
And will he get one?
No. I'll be in the dressing room fucking tweedling my nipples, trying to get my fucking face fuck a waitress. All right, thank you, Leonard.
Hey.
That's great. So you like it when guys like Leonard, when your opener goes on and people are shouting, "We came to see Jim Norton."
It should literally be a chant that drowns out the opener.
I see. That's good. That's really, really good.
Do you want to hear the douchiest thing of James Dolan?
What?
Cancel
Reed-
Travis's cable,
That
too.
Reed just told me about?
What?
He has a band.
I know, I said that.
Did you say that he booked himself to open for the Eagles at Madison Square Garden in 2014?
Jim, you did not say that. Reed, is that true?
Yeah, it's true. There's articles about it.
JD in the straight shot?
He booked himself
No, he didn't.
to open for the Eagles.
I don't believe that.
At Madison Square
I
Garden.
don't believe you.
Well, you are going to be eating crow.
Fucking crows.
Get it there.
That is so
Can we see a little?
douchey.
Isn't it?
It's cool. Let's go with
He
the hat.
booked himself to open for the Eagles just because?
You know who I think would be good?
Us.
I mean, it's even like...
I bet you the Eagles needed the date. Hey, we're on the tour. And he goes, well, I got my band booked. Like, all right, you can do it.
Yeah, James, your band is not booked for Madison Square Garden. Yeah, they are. They already were. You want to hear a little
This is
JD in
Los
the straight
Angeles,
shot?
but he's with the Eagles here.
Okay.
Midnight Run.
He appeared with the Eagles at the Los Angeles Forum.
Here we go. Let me go back then. See
Wow, maybe they're actually friends.
You can play that one. I mean, it's all going to sound the same.
Okay.
Oh, now.
Yeah, we wrote the movie. We wrote the song. We sent it into the movie producers.
He's got an electric stage presence.
Yeah.
Don't you find that? You're not glued to his every word. Oh, I hope he does more talking.
If we like your song, we're going to use it in the movie.
This is the Forum?
Yeah.
He also owns this.
That would explain it.
He does.
He owns the Forum as well. Here's what I love about this guy.
Wow.
This is how you know he's just a jerk who wasn't able to make it happen. You can make as many. He's one of the great successes in business. You know, he's owning Madison Square Garden and the LA Forum and sports teams. I mean, he's a millionaire upon millionaire upon millionaire.
I'm sure he's a billionaire. You don't own the Garden and be a millionaire.
He's a billionaire. He's got all the money in the world, and all he wants to do is be a rock star. And you can't buy your way into being cool. Because he's a fucking dork.
He's not telling a good story on stage.
It's a terrible story. He's got a negative stage presence. It's the antithesis of stage
Let's
presence.
hear this story. The story was not that great.
You did not like the story?
Not 100%.
Okay.
This is the song by Willie Nelson. And so we will have Willie Nelson sing a song, if that's okay. And we said, we love Willie Nelson. And it's
Just rambling about Willie Nelson. Who cares? Can you imagine? You're there to see the Eagles. James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, his band opens. So you're already like, what? Why would I want to see this band open for the Eagles? And then they get out there and they don't even play? James Dolan starts telling a Willie Nelson story?
He's talking a lot.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
The Eagles, one of the biggest bands.
You ever hear Hotel California?
No. I'm not an Eagles fan, though.
There's plenty of rooms.
Okay.
How about Life for the Fast Lane?
That's not what the song is called.
Stupid.
It's not the song, man.
Do openers for the Eagles, do they usually tend to sell like at or around 113 copies of their record?
Didn't want it to.
No,
Can you believe he was here yesterday? Can you believe the man who said didn't want it to was here? Didn't want it to.
I would say that if you open for the Eagles, yeah, you're selling at least 10,000 CDs.
No, they didn't.
113,000 CDs?
Mm-hmm.
That's 113,000.
No.
No, I don't believe
113.
Only 113? Wow.
Let's hear a little bit, because the story is good.
You like the story.
It's growing on me.
So it actually has...
It's growing on me.
It's clicked in with you.
Clicked in, it's growing.
Okay.
But tonight, you get to hear the song from the folks who wrote the song. That's us. It's called Midnight Run, Joe.
Oh my God. Did you hit pause? No applause. Did you hear that reaction? Tonight, you get to hear this song. That was the moment that everybody's like, yeah, we get to hear this song.
A girl went woo.
One girl. He's at that's an arena he's in.
Yes, a girl went woo.
No. In an arena, you could fit way more than one person.
Let me just hear the last second of that before they play.
You'd like to hear what the sounds
You
were.
like that? That's good. I want to hear the girl go woo.
But tonight, you get to hear the song from the folks who wrote the song. That's us. It's called Midnight Run, Joe.
Nobody reacted. Nobody reacted. Oh no. I don't think the flaw here is the camera work.
No, it's just the insult to injury.
Jim, he's not a good singer.
Well, the acoustics are not good. I would say the acoustics, because you're listening from...
The voice is not good, Jim.
I have to hear another version. Let's hear something else.
Do we have an album cut? Maybe live isn't where...
Here, let's. We're gonna go on Spotify, see some numbers.
JD and the Straight Shot. Maybe live isn't there.
Yeah, well, plus it was a bit of a... you could hear the echoes.
Not good numbers.
The Great Divide is not bad.
46,000.
Yeah, okay.
But you know what?
Huh.
When you're rich, you can probably buy some streams.
Doctor those numbers a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing about these online numbers.
I mean, if you're opening for the Eagles, people are going to naturally just go check you out.
Absolutely.
To see what you sound like. So.
Sure.
Yeah, but you don't want the 46,000 number one to 15,000 number two. That drop off is not good.
All right, so.
Well, 68,000 number 3.
And then number 4 is 6,000.
Yeah, I mean, this,
The inconsistencies are a little
Jessica
suspicious.
has less than 1,000, but
And it's
that's
number
okay.
7.
A lot of mine are terrible, too.
But
In the morning, I get the news. So hard to know what's true. Always someone telling you how to feel, what to do. I know you care and it feels unfair, but all this hate will never repair.
oh my God.
And everybody's taking sides instead of closing it.
Dude, this is the David Brent band. I mean, this is it. This is
This is like Free Love on the Free Love Highway.
Well, actually, you can see that he released this on Juxtaposition Records.
I mean, what was the name of the David Brent movie?
Life on the Road.
Life on the Road. Like, this is literally Life on the Road. This is, if David Brent had $1 million, David Brent is, of course, Ricky Gervais's character from The Office. And he spent all of his money to have this ridiculous music career, but he didn't have any money, so he wasn't able to be anywhere near successful because obviously nobody wanted to hear him sing. This is what happens when a millionaire wants to be a rock star.
Find another song. That's another one. I like this. Let's have another one.
But the lyrics are so horrible.
No, they're good. It's about the Great Divide. How about we go to Shambles?
He's got nothing to say. No, this is Shambhala.
Oh.
This is probably a cover, which is still good.
Rob is suggesting that we go to his YouTube channel because he's got actual music videos there.
Okay.
Music videos are important.
And they kind of help like build the story, you know? Like you might be getting lost on you.
Maybe, well, I thought the lyrics were pretty straightforward.
Oh, okay.
You know, I thought it was pretty on the nose for the most part.
Got a couple of videos here. Got The Great Divide.
Well, Jim really likes The Great Divide.
I do.
All right.
Do you want to hear The Great Divide again?
Let's see another music video. Let's give it
the third one.
Okay.
JD and the Straight, what's
Glide.
it called? Glide. This is the official music video. Here's the lyrics, because I feel like it was lost. Oh,
Not a good pause.
Troy freeze framed. He's got a lip curl and like an eyebrow up, almost like an aggressive Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a major chip face going on, except that thing. Troy, what was it that you noticed about his teeth?
Veneers.
I mean,
Nice fake white teeth.
it has to be. There's never been a more clear photo of fake teeth that I've ever seen in my life.
And the scene before this, I mean, when it's talking about smiling, I mean, he wants to make sure you see his teeth.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
he paid a lot of money for him.
Of course.
So I believe the lyric before this was blow your hair in the air. You don't care.
It's nice.
You like that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
poetry.
It's nice.
Let's go.
Let me hear more. Let me hear a little more. But he's in the actual.
Can we go back just a little bit to make sure I got that lyric
yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't wanna-
Blow your hair in the air. You don't care.
No.
Every time he talks, his chin disappears. I believe that beard is there to manufacture a jawline.
Hold on, Larry in Minnesota is a new fan.
Okay, what's going on? What's going on, Larry?
Why the hell you guys want to torture us listening to this hippie shit this morning?
He's got a good. This is the owner of the Knicks, and he's got a good message for people
We're
to.
supposed to be dropping acid and listening to this shit or what?
No, this is kind of like a country-ish. This is like a folksy feel.
I think that he's got a good message. It's life is a ride that you get to ride for free.
Yeah,
Larry.
life's a carnival and you can ride it for free.
That's right.
So we need to put our dandelion crowns on and dance
right.
around in a circle, or
I think
what?
so. I think so, Larry. Why don't you get to the truck stop and show some of your fellow truckers the other music that's out there.
Yeah,
We're trying
why
to
don't you play
expose
some of
you
this?
to new
Well,
things.
I tell you what, Sam. If
Yeah.
you'll do it first, then I'll join you.
Okay, I don't know if that's a great idea to tell you the truth. I don't know if I'd survive.
Now let me.
Well, you do got that twinkish boy.
Yeah, they could find something to do with me, right?
I want to see the end of the.
Thank you, Larry.
I want to see the end of that clip again. Not the song, but the fucking. We didn't watch the end of him throwing the guy out again.
Now, it's weird because when he's throwing the guy out of Madison Square Garden and banning him from Madison Square Garden because he asked James Dolan to sell the team, it doesn't seem like James Dolan is in touch with his inner child that he sings about in the wintry mountains.
Fair point. Fair point.
You gotta have people around you that tell you when you're a fucking asshole.
Or you just gotta, when someone heckles you like that, if the guy said, fuck your mother, all right, I get it. But he didn't. He just said, sell the team. That's something fair for someone to yell at you.
No, I mean, here's what happens when you surround yourself with hot chicks that are kind of bought and paid for. When you're doing stuff like this dumb music that he does, they're not there to tell you, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't put this out. This is a terrible idea. James Dolan, I believe, has probably isolated himself from everybody that's going, don't do this. This is a terrible idea. Why would you even do this?
I don't care that he does music. Like, it's like, all right.
You're a public figure, though.
Putting yourself in front of the Eagles. I mean, and you know.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's kind of ballsy.
Ballsy?
Yeah, a part of me likes it as much as it's fucking awful to actually put yourself in front of the Eagles. That you're just going to say, I'm opening for the Eagles.
I don't think it's ballsy.
It is.
I think it's
ballsy in the sense that it takes a lot of nerve to do that.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, but ballsy, not courageous ballsy.
I think he's got more guts than brains, but I don't think he's got a lot of guts. You know what I mean?
It's not guts. Ballsy in the sense of like the nerves to do that.
He's got a lot of nerve.
The nerve.
He's got you know what it is? It's audacious.
Yeah.
It's a truly audacious thing to do.
But this is upsetting. This is irritating.
This is the true James Dolan, by the way. He loves flexing that power. He likes to put himself in front of the Eagles because he owns the arena. He likes to be able to kick fans out who say things that he doesn't like. He loves it.
Did he throw Oakley out?
Huh?
Him and Charles Oakley had a problem?
Yes, he did.
Sell the team! Anything I should sell the team?
You think so?
You want to not come to any more games? Why? Yeah, that's rude. It's an opinion. No, it's not an opinion. And you know what? Enjoy watching them on TV.
Him, what? Bring him, him, hold him for Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
Hold him for Kevin. Hold him for Kevin.
Hold him for Cameron?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Whoever the
hold him
security guy
was.
Fuck,
you gonna hold him?
That's when you know he's not. It's not even an empty threat. He's not joking around.
No,
he's just a douchebag.
Hold him for what? So when did that happen?
I think over the weekend. That's when I saw it.
Is there any update on it? DL was very funny on TMZ.
I haven't heard any update. But you know, our intern Reed is a Knicks beat reporter. Is that right, Travis?
That's correct.
Isn't Reed a beat reporter for the Knicks? Okay, get him in here. We needed an exclusive.
No, he's gonna get fired.
No, we want an exclusive.
Fired from what?
James Dolan's going to fire him.
From what?
By the way, Rob...
You want a report from home, Reed?
Rob found another great song.
Okay, well, let's have that on standby for sure, because I trust Rob's...
I'll tell Troy what it is.
Rob is a student of musical theater, so I do trust his judgment.
That's the thing. Rob's actually a fan.
Yeah, no. Is he? He likes it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Reed, you're a Knicks beat reporter, correct?
I am. Sorry.
My microphone fell down. It's okay. Now, are you worried, even being associated with the show right now, that James Dolan is going to take his wrath out on you?
No, I was actually saying this to Travis. When I'm at games, since I'm one of the younger guys, and I do criticize him, I'm told like in certain areas not to do that.
Meaning certain areas of the building,
MSG, yeah,
because he might be walking around.
Or no, it's not even that, because it's like almost like security there. Someone might hear it, and there's actually a fear that you would get kicked because the Knicks are already starting to kind of clamp down on how much media is there, so they almost want a reason to be like
they don't want critical media there.
No, they don't. I mean,
what's the point of the media then?
Yeah, but especially with sports, it's not politics. So
who do you be reporter? How do you like for who?
So I work for WFUV, which is an NPR affiliated radio station, 90.7, is
you and your lib friends.
Yeah, all of them.
But do you ever go like this when you want to do have a little attitude? Do you ever go, you're listening to WFU?
That's pretty cool.
That's what I would do.
That'd be the quickest way to get off air.
I go like this. Sure. Yeah, you're going to get the scoop on the Knicks here on WFU. Yeah. You know, I just think it'd be cool.
Not my style.
So what do you report about? You're the Knicks reporter for them.
Yeah, we have about 3 because all of us are like student workers. So I'm like professionally credentialed reporter, but like I do it as a student too. It's complicated. Like, I'm not going to do it next year because I'm graduating this year.
Have you talked to any of the Knicks?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh, you spoke to the Knickerbockers?
Yeah, so what happens is I go to the game, before I go in the court, talk to players, talk to the coach, press conference afterwards, like you ask a question, you have to record the audio and send it to the station, go into the locker room.
What kind of questions do you ask? Yeah. What kind of questions are safe to ask? How did you guys get so good?
Right.
What's the secret to being magic?
Yeah, I mean, I try to ask. I mean, I try not to ask super provocative questions like that because it's also like you don't want to be a dick to them, especially because they know they're bad. Like the head coach,
Who's
for
the
instance.
thick kid that keeps asking inappropriate questions?
Hey, Thighs has a question.
Who's the kid with the tight slacks that keeps asking nasty questions?
How about the next time you ask him, when's the last time you listened to JD in the Straight Shot?
Yeah, you got to bring up the band, dude. Do you ever like
my last game? I'll do that.
Do you ever like to blow your hair? You don't care.
Yeah, my last game, I might just ask, like, why don't we play more JD in the Straight Shots?
I think it's a good idea. You never interviewed James Dolan.
No, I've never even seen him in person. Actually,
No, you'll never see me.
He seems to move around with a lot of security
and hot chicks, right?
I guess so.
That's right. Apparently,
no, I know. I actually didn't know he went to the games that much, but I mean, the Knicks are so bad, and he's known throughout the NBA as a notoriously horrible owner. So I'm sure it's worn on him, which is why he reacted like that. You know?
Well, maybe stop being horrible.
Why is he a horrible owner?
Just because.
I'm concentrating on my band, Jim.
How do I put that? Yeah, that attitude he has. The Knicks have been horrible. They haven't won a championship since '73.
Is that really the last time they won a championship?
Yeah, they went to the finals the end
20
of,
years.
like 90 in '99. But even then, they've been mismanaged. Short story. Like they could have been better, but a lot of people believe because of his leadership,
they could have been a contender instead of bums, which is what they are.
Yeah. And so now they're trying to be the worst team to get a chance to get the first pick.
The Knicks they should have been a championship belt of a team.
Sure,
but instead. It was really just a collection of the jewels from the belt.
Yeah, yes. And the belt of a champion is a very rare item.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. But they were the jewels
I think it might be my favorite scene in any movie.
But these are the jewels from the
jewels from the belt.
My favorite is when he's on the phone. He's like, let him do it. They're going to do what they're going to do. He's on a pay phone, and his hand is propped up, and his fucking shirt cuts off, and his fucking fat gut is hanging out. He's on a pay phone.
He's looking like Roger Stone throwing up the Nixon peace signs.
It's so great they're trying to throw him in jail. Live in it, boy. Live in it. Fuck you. Your mother's cunt then. Do you know what that's from?
Not a clue.
Oh, no. It's from a new ABC show.
Yeah. It's a Modern Family episode. It's great.
No.
But so when you see stuff like this,
yeah,
do you go, I'm not going to be able to comment on James Dolan throwing a Knicks fan out? Because it'd be really interesting to go to the players and say, hey, how do you feel about James Dolan throwing a fan out for saying he should sell the team? I want to know what the players think. Larry Johnson still play for the Knicks? Gray Mama?
No.
Oh.
Not at all. But, I mean...
John Starks, he's still there?
Maybe as a fan. Or like, maybe,
but he doesn't play?
No, he doesn't play. A little bit off. A couple years removed from the game.
Ewing, right?
No, he's not bad. He's a coach now. So he's technically still in the NBA.
Player coach?
Maybe he likes to think he is. But no.
Just coach.
Just coach,
okay.
right?
Okay.
But I want to. But then I realize, like, they're just going to look at me weird and not answer.
Yeah, but that's fucking awesome. You get it on video. I would love that.
I got a video. I asked DeAndre Jordan about Kevin Durant coming to the Knicks. I know he's best friends with him, and he just looked at me and pretended like I asked him what his favorite wine was.
And did he tell you what his favorite wine was?
He did. It was pretty extensive, actually.
Why? That's amazing.
Just because like that kind of stuff. The players nowadays seem a lot more, from what I've heard too. I haven't been covering them that long, but what I'm heard is like nowadays they're a lot more removed in terms of their personalities with the media because everyone's trying to get like that gotcha moment.
Everybody gets in trouble, so they're like, forget it.
Maybe
they're used to the media being such dicks to them too.
Yeah, because like I was told 20 years ago, reporters would be friends with players, friends with owners, even like not like at least on like a professional level. But nowadays it's just like, ask me why I didn't play well. I'll tell you we tried hard, and let's move on.
So when you speak to the Knickerbockers, are you afraid of asking an improper question?
No, not at all. I try to phrase the question so that they're.
Reed, I want you to know something. Jim did not ask that question because he cared about the answer.
That's not true.
He just wanted to say Knickerbocker.
That's not true.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I thought maybe he just,
he wanted the opportunity to be cute.
No, it's not cute. It's a fair question. Are you a fan of the New York Knickerbockers?
He's just trying to be cute.
I thought he was a little bit
succeeding, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's Troy? You think it's cute?
He is cute.
Reed, Carlos in Pennsylvania has a question for you. What's going on, Carlos?
Good evening.
Hello, Carlos.
Carlos.
Hi, Carlo. Hello, Carlo.
I wanted to ask if Reed ever does interviews with Larry Brooks, the infamous reporter that got chewed out by John Tortorella a few times.
You know Larry Brooks?
No, I don't talk to reporters when I'm there. We talk.
No, but he goes in the locker room and he holds a microphone to the guy's mouth, kind of like what you're describing what you do.
Yeah.
Do you go into the locker room to do your interviews?
Yeah.
Are you pecker checker?
Post game.
You pecker checker?
It is a really weird thing. Someone needs to have that discussion about why in 2019 we still have this weird thing where we all awkwardly stand in the middle while they're all naked or whatever, changing behind towels.
You seen their dicks?
Who has the largest penis on the Knickerbockers?
No, those guys aren't naked. The team that likes to get naked, I used to cover the Red Bull. And those European guys, they just walk around like it's nothing. With like female reporters in there.
Did you like that?
Yeah, but they're doing that on... Dude,
would you comment on their genitalia?
I asked them about them, actually.
Athletes walking around naked in front of female reporters are 100% doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are you going to be able to
in a locker room? Yeah.
Yeah, walk around with your dick out in front of women.
If I was an athlete with a big giant dick, every interview would be nude.
Yeah. You want to do it in here in the dressing room?
Every interview would be nude.
I have to warn you, I'm not decent. Come on in.
My big giant dick would be flopping all
They
over the
used to
locker
do
room.
that all the time, and now they got in trouble. Like for
what?
the whole sexual harassment thing and all that. And there's so many cameras in there now. Like it might be funny in the moment, but then you turn around and you see on TMZ.
Too bad you're in a lot. Well, you can't. You're in a locker room.
Maybe do the interviews in the hall, right?
Yeah, how about that?
We have an interview room.
Yeah.
Hey, after you put your dick back in your pants, come into this interview room.
Believe me, if I was walking around, if I always had an athlete's body and a big giant dick, I'd be flopping it all over the fucking locker room.
If you had an athlete's body and a big athletic penis, you wouldn't mind if TMZ posted it?
I would love TMZ to post my athlete's body and my fucking big giant dick.
But what if you were 7 foot with like a 5'5" guy's dick? Wouldn't you feel kind of uncomfortable with that?
You'd never know because you'd be like, hey, the center hung himself. What happened? Why is he dead?
You'd kill yourself.
Yeah, I bet I would. Yeah, give myself the old necktie treatment.
This is what I got? Forget it.
Yeah, I'd never make it to the NBA.
So, how long have you been a beat reporter for the Knicks?
Oh, this is my second year.
So do we know anything about this controversy? Is this gentleman being allowed back into the stadium?
I haven't heard anything.
Or the arena?
I'm working the Lakers game this Sunday, so I'll probably ask about it. But my guess is that...
Are you going to talk to LeBron?
I'm going to try.
You should.
Someone like him, though, you can imagine. The thing that annoys me about a lot of media and sports nowadays, too, I feel like so many guys are trying to be friends with the athletes. Like,
of course, everybody wants to be Ali and Howard Cosell, you know?
But they don't care about you. No, you
don't think so?
No, I don't. It's like when LeBron's there, everyone flocks and takes photos and whatever.
With him?
No, just selfies.
Yeah, no, they can't do that. But like, they just follow him around like whatever. I'm guessing with this guy because the seats, because no one talked about that. The seats there are probably like $900 at least where he was. Like that's not a cheap seat.
Mm-hmm.
So if he is a season ticket holder, he might eventually get unbanned. I think, but I don't know for sure.
You don't know. Just an assumption.
Yeah, it would be dumb to ban him after all this too. Like,
but he's already banned. He was banned before it.
Yeah, I could get unbanned him. Was it officially like announced he was banned, or was it just kind of like
they wouldn't announce
held
those
him.
things. Yeah, they held
Where's
him.
the guy? Someone needs to talk to the guy.
I want to find out.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's dealing with it. But then again, maybe it was he might have just been a one-time game goer who that's not the way to say it, but
game attendant.
But he might not be like a huge. He might not. He might just be like yelling like a dick and not care.
But he knew to say sell the team though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of knowledge. Did you see last night? What's his name? Westbrook got into an argument with a fan. What is going on in the NBA? Like people are so stressed out. They're making all this money.
Who does Westbrook play for? Is it Phoenix?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
They're making all this money to just play basketball. Just collect your checks, play your basketball, and go on with your life. And people are getting so wrapped up in all this.
I understand the whole play basketball, you make a lot of money, but no matter how much money you make doesn't mean you like to be called like
but that's the job part.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the fans are going to yell at you.
And he didn't do anything physical, but what's wrong? Like, why are they not able? If you say "fuck you," why can't I turn around and be like "fuck you" too?
I kind of agree with you that you should be able to,
because they're trying. I think
you can't threaten to beat people up though.
Yeah. Well, the NBA's thing would be like we're trying to put on family entertainment theoretically, right? This is the NBA is supposed to be family entertainment.
Yeah.
And if your star athletes are yelling "fuck you,"
I'll fuck your wife
I'm
up
going to
and
fuck your wife up.
Well, in this instance, Westbrook says that he made like a racial slur, or basically he said something about like, "Oh, get back on your knees." Like, I don't know the exact wording. And the guy was interviewed afterwards. I saw an interview with him, and he said he didn't say that. So, so it's a miscommunication, maybe. But that's why he got this mad in this instance.
Well, we can play. This is Russell Westbrook, from the Oklahoma City Thunder last night.
He's basketballing.
He's got towels wrapped on his knees.
Yep.
Are those makeshift knee pads for the game?
No, they're full of ice.
Icy.
Oh.
Icy. and
I see that.
He's yelling back and forth with one of the fans, which really he should
razzing him.
He should be paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
Part of the gig is to not get distracted by the fans.
Yeah, the fans are going to yell. It's what they do.
I mean, would they prefer to just make millions of dollars to play in empty arenas? Is that what we should do?
I get your argument, but it doesn't make sense. The entire arena is not yelling. It's one guy went out of line, he didn't like it, and he's like, turns around, you know what? I'm gonna say this because
I'm gonna beat your wife up. Is what he said.
Okay. I'm
not
paraphrasing him and saying,
but
that.
he said, hey, you keep voicing your opinion about me, and I'm gonna beat up your wife.
Yeah, well, I would love to say, by the way.
Okay, fair point.
Okay. Oh, the guy made a gay joke. Kevin in Philadelphia, he might be right.
Well, let's listen to Russell Westbrook.
I'll fuck him up. He said, I promise you. I'm playing. I swear to God. I'll fuck you up.
I think that's the big issue. He's saying, I swear to God, he's using the Lord's name in vain. And that's a big no-no.
Didn't even think about that.
You don't want to use the Lord's name in vain.
And I think they're actually in Utah, too, which is very...
Not good.
Not good at all.
Yeah.
He's had problems in Utah before, I read. Is that right?
I don't know.
Come on, you should know.
Great reporter for basketball. I don't know.
I don't think he's had any problems in Utah. He's never
Would
been
you have
arrested or
recognized
anything.
him if you didn't want to troll his name?
Oh, I recognize him. Yeah, he's one of the biggest stars,
He
former
wouldn't
MVP.
recognize. He didn't know anything about basketball.
And these guys, when you see them in person, they're unreal.
Yeah, the giant guys.
Like but they look. Yeah, never mind. Without getting really weird, they're just weirdly impressive. Well, they're just like some guys are big or
the
tall,
giant
or fit.
athletes. Yeah.
Tell me about
these guys
their
are
bodies.
all like perfectly weirdly proportioned, no body fat. It looks like you took a regular guy and just like zoomed him up. I don't know how to exexplain it, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so this is probably a lot more
If
intimidating.
they
for the
stretched
fan.
you up, you'd be like 10 feet tall.
5 feet wide.
Yeah.
A lot of mass.
Fucking camera.
I'll fuck you up. You and your wife. I'll fuck you up.
Okay.
No, fuck that. I promise you. Everything I love. Everything I love.
He said, I promise you on everything I love, I'll fuck you and your wife up.
Stupid ass.
I swear on all that is holy. I'm going to hurt you and your wife. I'm going to beat you guys up.
Now, does he explain this in another clip?
He does. But let's keep going.
He has a fiery personality too. Like he does.
Really?
He does have a temper.
Oh man, thanks for the insight.
Little insider information.
Yeah, you should be a psychological. You're like Hannibal Lecter.
That's right. That's right.
I think that's the end of it.
Yeah,
we still got 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Now he's down. He throws his Gatorade down. He's had enough. And he went to reporters.
Yes, he's speaking to Jim Gaffigan here.
To explain what had happened. It really does look like him, doesn't it?
The issue of it is how it started was a young man and his wife in the stands told me to get down on my knees like he used to. And for me, that's just completely disrespectful to me. I think it's racial. I think it's just inappropriate in the sense of there's no protection for the players. I think there are a lot of great fans around the world that like to come to the game and enjoy the game. And there are people that come to the game and to say mean, disrespectful thing about me, my family.
But what is it? What is he talking about?
No, it's not racial. Get on your knees is a dick sucking thing.
Yeah, and either way, well, not either way. I mean, it's clearly a gay joke.
Huge difference. Yeah,
but what's he talking about? That fans shouldn't go and yell nasty things at the opposing team?
Yeah.
Since when? What are you talking
it's
about?
Not racial. It's not fucking unless the guy yelled something. But that get on your knees is not racial.
Yeah.
It's a blowjob.
There's actually a video of the fan who he was yelling at, explaining the situation.
Yeah, no, I know. But
and he said, I get what you're saying. You're right. Maybe this instance is probably just like the straw that broke the camel's back, where he's dealt. And I think actually people don't talk about social media. I know it sounds weirdly cliche, but social media is a thing, I think, for these athletes now, because not only are they just going to games like the old days where they're getting criticized, they're like online.
They're not. Just don't be on Twitter. It's like
I think
so
it's easier said than done.
No, it isn't.
No, it's really not.
I get people on Twitter every single day.
It's not that hard to not be on Twitter obsessively.
I was literally a trending topic on Sunday in the world. It was not for positive reasons. The tweets weren't coming in.
They were for positive reasons.
I was the number 5 trending topic in the world on Sunday.
Why?
Not because
They didn't like you?
Hey, Sam, you're doing a great job. Hey, get the fuck off TV, Sam. This Sam Roberts guy, who the fuck invited him? He sucks. He looks like a Muppet.
Were they attacking your physical appearance?
They were.
I don't go for that.
Well, how do you know that though? Because you were on Twitter and you saw it.
Yeah, because I wanted to see why I'm trending.
That's what I'm saying. But
I would maybe. But I'm not sitting there going like, oh, I'm gonna go beat up a fan's wife now because it really affects me.
The two are unequivalent. I don't.
That's exactly. It's a terrible example.
You couldn't beat him up.
I looked at. I could beat up somebody's wife. I think, depending on the size.
Don't go down that road.
I bet I could. I bet there are people's wives that I could beat up. You might, because you're right, Troy, about the person tweeting. But I'll bet I could find somebody whose wife I might be able to take physically.
I don't think so.
They'd have to be a small woman.
Very, very small one.
I'm talking
sleight of frame.
4'11" and skinny.
Yeah.
So not Ronda Rousey.
No, Reed. Why? Do you think you could beat up Ronda Rousey?
No, I don't.
Terrible example.
I don't know, but she's like this best fighting woman, I guess.
Right. No, I know, but Reed,
that's why it was a terrible example.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we were talking about was that I would have trouble with just an average woman. To fight a woman that wasn't good at fighting would be difficult for me because fighting is not my strong suit.
So you don't pick the best female fighter.
Yeah, literally, if all of the men in this room came together,
we couldn't beat her.
We could not even come. It would take Ronda Rousey 30 seconds to break all of our arms. However, a 4'11" housewife in bad shape.
It's questionable.
If I snuck up behind her, I think I could.
The joke would have been to find a weak or awful woman like Stalker Patty and say, oh, even Stalker Patty. But you don't go, yeah, he can't beat up a woman. Try Ronda Rousey.
Right.
No, it's terrible.
Right.
How I couldn't beat up Layla Ali? No, I couldn't.
But my point is, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm trending. What are they saying? Ha, ha, ha. They don't like me. And then I turned it off. I'm not scrolling through every single tweet.
Yeah. You didn't read the one I sent?
I didn't see it.
Oh.
Was it supportive?
It was unkind.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't see it then.
He's an angry person. I'll give you that.
You go to a fucking therapist.
Yeah.
You play basketball for a living. You make a whole bunch of money and people like you.
Yeah.
But why, when this happens, are we always on the athletes and not the fans?
We're not always on the alley. Because fans are notorious for doing
wrong.
that. They've been doing that. It's part of the game is that they yell. Again, there's a line that if they cross, that it's fucked up. But just yelling some stupid shit like that or sell the team,
So,
come on.
Do you think if I put my face on television and talk some shit? No, I'm talking shit. People should not respond and go like, you fucking suck, Sam Roberts. People shouldn't do that. Or we're equivalent here somehow. Because if I'm making myself into a public figure, people are allowed to say whatever they want.
Gus in Houston has a very valid question.
Okay, good. Finally, somebody with let me see what did what's up, Gus?
Good morning, guys. Look, I get that your demo really skews male, but can you two fruitcakes stop talking about any sport that doesn't involve a script or the word entertainment? Sam asked the dumbest question ever.
Tell me.
What are those two things on his knees? Knee pads? Like, make sure they're ice, you dumb shit.
Gus,
it's ice.
That was stupid.
Sometimes you may need to search in my comments for irony. You know.
No, not ice. It's ice knee.
No. No. No, Sam. No.
Gus, do you think that?
You.
Do you think that? Do you think that I thought that basketball players play basketball with towels wrapped around their knees for?
Yes,
for
you
knee pad?
order.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
You little nincompoop.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I did. All right. You're right. You got me. You got me on that one. I did. Yeah, I did. I did.
Point.
But Gus, we're trying to get Reed in here as an expert to help us out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a sweet, sweet little question by a sweet, sweet little boy.
Thank you.
I get it.
Thank you. Thank you.
But stop talking about sports, you fucking hens.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. That's all.
Right. Goodbye, Gus.
Thank you, Gus.
That's actually a good example of your point to when someone heckles you.
Yeah, how do you handle it?
Hey, Gus.
We didn't ban him.
Gus, I'm going to beat up your wife.
Block
and
that number.
You can't call into the show anymore. And if I see your wife in the street, I'm going to punch her.
We'll find out how big she is first.
Do you think that would be an appropriate response on my part? I'm gonna fuck up your family.
No, I guess the reason that I'm taking this position is because the larger point. One, I think the NBA is getting softer in terms of like there's a fight the other night. They're just not allowing any type of confrontation. But I just don't like the idea of like fans acting like this because they think athletes won't retaliate, right? Because you wouldn't do this in the street.
That's true.
That's what it is for me.
But that's why you're doing it in the arena.
It depends on what you yell to.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he was actually yelling racial shit at him, then you got your different story.
Would have hit him, but yeah.
But if he thought it was racial, now you don't or whatever. But
He didn't think it was racial.
How do we know that?
He's making a bigger deal out of it.
If he
because
did, then
lost
he's
his,
dumb. Yeah.
He
Get on your knees like you used to is not about subservience or it's a guy making a dumb schoolyard blowjob joke.
Right. And the only reason he's making it is because he saw towels on his knees. And he's like, blowjob.
Yeah, you're on your knees. You got knee pads.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, this isn't the best example for my large.
Terrible example.
But
can we hear the other guy, the explanation?
Yes, we do have the fans' explanation as to why he said these things.
He's got to be a professional. I mean, she was sitting down the entire time. Me and him were just, it was actually, we were kind of having fun, to be honest.
At least you thought you were having fun?
Yeah, he was smiling at one point, and there was a lot of people, because it was when, Joe would come by and poked Paul George in the eye, and then Joe goes over and apologizes immediately. Russ is just F-bombing and carrying on, acting a fool down here, and everybody's getting on him. And he had, I guess, heat. I thought it was ice. I just told him, I'm like, just sit down and ice your knees, bro. And he turned to me and he's like,
wait, what did he say?
Sit down and ice your knees, bro.
Oh, bro, okay.
And then it turned into not safe for work.
Oh, he didn't even say get on your knees. Sit down and ice your knees. What did he say?
You're a little gullible. I think that he's lying.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he is probably trying to portray himself in the best light. Sure. He probably said, get on your knee. He probably made the gay joke.
Yeah.
And then Westbrook lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
But of course fans should be able to yell shit at players.
Stuff like that.
I think that's true. I think that if players react now, I think the line crosses the beating up the wife part. But if he hadn't said that, I don't think there'd be a problem.
Maybe you're right.
That's the line.
You also can't
threaten to beat people up.
You can't threaten to beat people up. You can't curse at them either. I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars to represent the NBA. If the NBA is saying don't curse at the fans, we're trying to sell some fucking commercials.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Budweiser on board. Please don't curse at the fans because giant companies don't like advertising on products where all the players are cursing at the fans. It's really okay to say we're giving you millions of dollars. Can you please do me a favor and play basketball? And also don't curse at the fans.
You're looking at it from the owner's perspective. I'm looking at it from the players. So I don't think either of us are wrong. But
what are you talking about, man?
I think you're right in terms of you're owning the team, but
the owners pay the players.
I'm a player, I think it's a legit feeling to want to respond to someone who yells at you.
Yeah, but if they say don't do it, don't do it. It doesn't matter what you feel. Like if there's rules of
but if they yell at you, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
If your boss tells you to do something, you do it. You don't go, well, I think in this instance it really is okay. Why should I'm not asking for logic. The boss says don't do it, don't do it.
Well, the thing is also he's so powerful within the organization. Like he's worth hundreds of millions. They're guaranteeing him. If it was another player, maybe, but the boss can't just go to tell him to shut up because if he leaves, that will collapse the team.
It's going to be a problem if he goes. So he's more important than the boss.
So they kind of have to make him happy too.
So he has to just curse at the fans and tell them I'm going to fuck up your wife.
Again, acknowledge that was the line that was crossed.
I see.
But if he towed that line, I don't think the Thunder would have a problem with that. And I wouldn't either.
But he's not. That's the whole story.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about in general.
In general, not in this instance.
Okay, we're talking about an instance, a thing that happened.
But don't you want to get to the bigger issue?
Of course.
Which is, what's the bigger issue?
How fans think they can say whatever they want
to the
these
players
as if, you're a performer, right? It's
Yes.
the same kind of instance, like as if they're not human beings with feelings.
Right. They just yell at them like they're not people with feelings.
I mean, you seem to take it really like the caller. I don't take it that well, so maybe that's why I identify more with it too.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hated for a long time.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, I am used to it.
All right, so maybe in a couple of years he won't be doing this anymore.
I mean, I would
hold on. Let me just allow Reed to spread smiles over two countries.
But you do think?
What? Really? But my chair broke.
Why'd you have to lean over to get that one out?
I leaned that one
towards me. That's why.
Well, no, I just can't lean towards that. It's not comfortable. I always lean right cheek. I'm a right.
Plus, it'd be rude to put it right in Reed's face.
I know. I know exactly. I think I can do whatever I want just because he's right here. No.
Exactly. No.
Yell at me.
No. So, what do you think the line is for fans? What are you allowed to say? Boo! I don't like you.
I think if you're a fan and you're going to do that, understand that they can yell
beat
back.
Up your wife.
He didn't beat up his wife.
He threatened. Okay, can threaten to beat up your wife.
Again.
First of all, players...
I didn't say that was okay.
Players, if they're good players, shouldn't be worried about what fans are saying anyway. They shouldn't be sitting there like, oh, I'm going to argue with fans if they say things to me. They should be concentrating on the game.
But he's on the bench.
Exactly.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. He's a star player.
Exactly. What's he going to do?
He's averaging triple-double for the second. He's not doing his job.
Is he a good player?
Really good. Really, really good.
Do you think he could beat up the guy's wife?
Oh,
Not if she's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
What if she's Ronda Rousey?
He's a pretty big guy. He's about 6'3", 6'4".
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ronda take him
longer
out.
limbs to grab.
Yeah, Ronnie can take him out.
That might be true, actually.
Although
But-
6'7" pretty big.
Ronnie in Kentucky has some information that unfortunately our basketball reporter did not have. What's up, Ronnie?
Hey, fellas, what's going
Hello.
on? I heard on ESPN this morning that same fella that just y'all played that soundbite from deleted his Twitter because as far back as a year ago, he talked mad shit about Russell Westbrook there. If you could have Hampton Rob, maybe find that.
I love that. I love that. He's sitting there tweeting about
he doesn't like him.
Russell Westbrook, but I don't mind that. If you don't like a guy and you're like, I'm going to buy tickets to this game and heckle him. Yeah, that's part. I mean,
why is it part of the game? You're not buying the ticket explicitly to heckle someone. You're buying it to watch the game.
Yeah.
So should you just sit there politely?
Well, I'm saying I think I like that because it's become an accepted aspect to the culture of being a fan when you go to these games. So I'm saying, why can't it be accepted that the players retaliate? Like it's not
because the players are busy.
Yeah,
not if you're on the bench.
You're paying tickets to see the players play.
But what if I don't know the context of this game, but what if he was done for the game? He seemed to have ice in his knees.
You're
He wasn't
making
going
things
back
up.
in.
You're saying, what if he didn't threaten his wife and he was done for the game?
No,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about what we're watching.
Right.
But you're talking about he needs to concentrate on the game and playing. But if he has ice,
If he's done, he doesn't have to concentrate. He's not playing.
Yeah, if he has ice in his knees, I'm assuming he's done playing for the day.
Okay, well, I'd like for you to please stop assuming you're a reporter. Come in here with the hard facts. That would be helpful, and we can have a conversation. But I don't know what you're talking about right now. You could. What if he's not done with the game? You see how we're going in circles now?
Yeah,
because
I don't have any more information, so now I'm just kind of
making it up as you go.
No, I'm not making it up. One can assume if he has ice in his knees, he's not going back in the game.
First of all, he said it's heat. The guy said in the interview it was heat.
Okay.
The clip that we just played.
Regardless,
this guy's been bashing him for a while. Who cares?
Westbrook is a piece of classless shit, is what this guy wrote.
Who cares?
Somebody needs to kick his ass, Tool. Well, he's like, you can kick my ass. I'm going to kick your wife's ass.
He said hashtag Tool to make sure people notice.
He wants to get a trend. Yeah.
Let's see some other tweet. But I don't care about this guy's. He hates the fucking players. So what?
I also don't care if people are going to buy tickets to boo players.
Yeah.
You should be able to buy tickets to boo players. Why not? I mean, when did players get so sensitive that you can't boo them?
When did fans get so sensitive that
it's been that way forever?
But why when a guy retaliates, then that's the problem? He didn't. I mean,
it wasn't the problem with the fan. It was the problem with the NBA.
Okay, well, I think that Westbrook saying he's going to beat up his. I've said it. I think Westbrook saying he's going to beat up his wife. Line cross, should not have done that. But if he were to have just responded, I don't see any problem.
So you think the NBA should just be able to be like, yeah, we're running a business where our players just curse at the fans from the bench?
No, I think the NBA should discourage it, but there's only so much you can do with a player like him. He has so much power and influence within the league because he's so good.
So that's the example that we should set as people who run the NBA is that the players that are really good, they make their own rules. We'll have rules, but you go back to JD and the Straight
Troy
Shot.
just can't wait.
It's a good band. I mean, it is a good band. I don't blame you, Troy.
Why is he calling him MAGA? This one guy.
Well,
Robert,
because if you look through his tweets.
But so what?
Yeah.
MAGA Shane Kissel is deleting tweets. What the fuck does that have to do with the interaction he had with the
Well,
guy?
it has nothing to do with anything.
I mean, we know.
Because
we know what's going on.
The Utah Jazz camo cap.
I think you can make the argument that the knees reference was not a gay joke, but a kneeling.
Yeah, but we all know it was a gay joke.
I think it was.
I don't.
So you're saying it could be a MAGA joke in the sense that get down on your knees,
He
NFL.
tweets about Colin Kaepernick and stuff like that.
And so he's deleting his tweets going like, oh no, they're going to find out. And that's what I'm saying. Like clearly in the interview that he did with the news, he made himself seem like, I don't know. Well, we were just talking and all of a sudden, clearly this guy did something that pissed off Russell Westbrook.
Now they're putting where the guy works because he had an argument with a fucking player?
That's so stupid.
Dicks.
That is too far. Although I'm curious, I mean, obviously using the hashtags he did, he wanted to get noticed.
Hashtag Tool?
Hashtag Tool. And now he is noticed
Here's the
and he's
thing.
deleting the Twitter because it's too much.
Reed, I'm going to guess that he doesn't 100% know how hashtags work. He just knows that that's a thing people do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's as social media savvy as like you are. Like, you would go, let me
30
hashtag this. Yeah.
30.
Throw 30 hashtags on. That way people will find this tweet. I think he is just like, I've heard people hashtag on Twitter, so I'm going to throw a hashtag on this Tool.
That's a fair point. Didn't think about that.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Let's go to Kevin in Louisiana. What's up, Kevin?
Yeah, the obvious.
Oh, Shane put MAGA. Okay.
The obvious answer.
Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second, Kevin. So we're looking. Yeah, go back to that tweet.
Right
Somebody
there.
put up. Shane is the guy that yelled.
This is Kessel.
Kessel. Somebody yelled. The guy that yelled at Russell Westbrook. Is this a real tweet?
I don't know.
You never know nowadays.
Russell
honestly.
Westbrook needs to go back where he came from, MAGA.
That seems too on the nose.
Yeah, it seems really on the nose.
I'm with you on that. Like, I mean,
that's suspicious. If it is, then this is a stupid man. But
these fucking assholes are posting his phone number because of an argument he had with a player.
So stupid.
That is way too far.
All right, sorry. Let's go back to Kevin. What's up, bud?
Yeah, it's obvious answer is, even though he's a professional athlete, he's still born in a generation of pussies.
You talking about Reed's generation? That's not that cool.
Hey, we're both millennials.
Hey, I'm just stating the obvious. Thanks, guys.
I feel like people love saying that, but then I feel like all the reaction is happening from his reaction. Everyone's so upset about his reaction to it. Though I feel that would
I see what you're saying. Meaning people, what's even more sensitive than Russell Westbrook is all the people getting triggered by Russell Westbrook.
Right. Yes, that is where the pussiness I think lies.
I gotcha.
Is the triggering of the
Russell Westbrook being triggering people. The people who are triggered by the triggering are the ones that are the pussies, and the ones being triggered are the ones that are like millennials are pussies. But the reality is, if you're going to make a change, why don't you start with the man in the mirror? I'm not going to mention where that song comes from, I think. Until,
Wait a minute, that's a Michael Jackson song.
No. Until we know that documentary is not true, we're going to go ahead and not mention.
I understand.
We figured it out, though.
I mean, even Corey Feldman is rescinding his support. We can't get too far into this MJ thing. It's not looking good. Let's go to Nick in Detroit. What's up, Nick?
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Nick.
By the way, I don't mind when you guys talk about sports at all if it means anything. It's actually a nice, fresh take on it, like usual, like how you guys always do.
It means everything. Thank you very much, Nick.
You're welcome. Tough dog.
Reed, can you throw out a bark for the Tef dog?
Yeah.
Bark. Okay. Because we know, like,
that was a yelp bark.
I don't know, because it's the Tef dog. Travis is the Tef dog, and Jim and I kind of go like oofa oofa oofa.
Oh, so I did kind of.
And Troy has his own bark, which you do for the Tef dog. Arf, which is really weird. And then your bark is, what do you do for the Tef dog?
Can I change mine?
Yes, you may.
Woof.
That's worse.
No, that's worse.
It's all because you tried. Go back to the
much worse. Yeah, much worse.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're only an intern.
I'm trying still.
Who's this guy, Robert Little? Does he work for the team?
No, he is.
BSR. Is he?
He's a sports journalist.
Oh, sports journalist. Okay.
Yeah. So what's going on, Nick?
Nothing much. One more thing, Troy, Black Caviar is killing it. I fucking love the shit, man.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
That's right.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask thick-ass Reed over there what he thought about the melee in Detroit. Did he think that was a player-appropriate reaction, or did he think that maybe it was a little bit over the lines?
Reed, explain for the folks who don't know. What melee in Detroit is young Nick
You guys talked about it last week, I think. The Mouse in the Palace with the Pacers and the...
Did you say the Mouse in the Palace?
That's what it's called. The Mouse in the... When Ron Artest went into the stands and was punching dudes and throwing the beer on him. My point, I loved it.
But it was the wrong guy.
He did
punch the wrong guy. To the question, the whole situation is completely inappropriate. The player should not have done that, but I loved it.
It was great.
It was great.
By the way, Mike in Florida has a point. I don't know if I agree with it.
Let's go to over here. Mike, what's up, bud?
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, sorry. I think somebody else said it, but yeah, it's a very millennial thing to think that you're above criticism. Players have been being paid millions of dollars and that's kind of what they sign up for. They kind of sign up to be shit on. And it's a very, very millennial thing to think that it's not fair to call the players, out when they're being assholes. And then also think, hey, you're being a dick because you're getting paid $30 million a year to be told you suck. Deal with it.
Well, you know what? To jump into, I don't know if that's a millennial attitude though, because Reed is not saying don't yell it. He's just saying the players should be able to yell back. So that's actually not a millennial attitude because he's saying that they should be able to be aggressive back.
What does that even mean?
Mike's point is that players should be able to just take it. It's a millennial attitude to be so sensitive to everybody that the players, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, I think players have been pretty pissed off. They've always been fairly pissed off. I mean, go back to Ty Cobb, the way he handled shit. They used to throw batteries at players.
Well, also, are we acting as if back in the 90s and 80s players didn't yell back at fans? We just didn't have recordings of it. I don't understand that millennial attitude. What does that mean?
Tell me.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
On this, Reed.
Go ahead, Reed. Speak to it.
No, because I always look at it like this.
Hold on a second.
Like, if you want to act like that...
Reed, let's be serious about this.
Quit playing.
Go ahead, Reed.
Well, I just mean, like, I hate people that do that because it's like, for one, if you think the millennials are so shitty, it's the baby boomers who raised the millennials. So
Like
you
Troy.
guys are even shit.
Like, the baby boomers.
Well, Troy didn't raise it. Well,
no.
Yes,
I'm just saying that Troy's more of a baby boomer than a
He's
millennial.
never raised a millennial. He's put his penis in a few.
Yeah. Well, here's what Reed is basically saying.
I just think it's a weak point.
Go ahead, Reed.
I just think it's a lazy point to make that these millennials are pussies. Like, no, it's not. Like, I think if anything, it'd be pussy if someone comes to me and yells at me and I just walk away and don't say anything. I don't know. I just don't know why people have the problem with them responding. This instance was over the line, but I think people should, if you're not, I love instances when people confront people and think they're not going to respond, and then they get the response and they have no idea what to do.
I don't mind if it happens outside the arena, but when it's happening in the arena, it's like you're at work, bro.
Reed is turning me, though.
He is.
He might be right.
Well, this is what Reed is basically saying.
That's stupid, guys.
You know? That's
perfect.
You're right?
Exactly.
Right? R. Kelly said it all for you.
He does everything.
Reed and the Pied Piper of R&B are on the same page. That's not a shocker.
Let's not
Reed is the Pied Piper of MSG.
He is. He is. And I'll tell you something else Reed and R. Kelly have in common.
I said, I'm going to get me a Big Mac and a Coke.
You mind having a Big Mac extra value meal every now and then? You're not going to turn that down, are you?
No way.
It's good, isn't it?
Good for you.
It's good. It's pretty good. It's good and it's bad because it just makes me feel bad emotionally. But
it really does fucking put you into a depression. But goddamn, it's tasty,
right?
Don't even read. Tuck the depression away. Don't even worry about that. Just enjoy the good times. You know.
Oh yeah.
We're not here for a long time. What are we here for?
A good time.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so what are we having for lunch?
2 Big Macs.
That's right. There it is.
By
That's
the way,
4 all beef patties.
By the way, fucking Rob's camping mountain shirt. I want to put an arrow through it. That's fucking awful.
You know, I tell you this about Reed. I'm so glad we have like a cool millennial now.
Oh.
Because Rob and his stupid fucking camping shirts and his dad's old pants that he wears to work every day.
And
it drives me crazy.
I hate how light the inside of the shirt is compared to the darker one when you cuff it up. It's enraging.
Rob is wearing a button-down, is that like a flannel material?
Yes.
And it's got photos all over. It's all over print. It's a mountain landscape. It's got like a
climbers.
Right. It's got pictures of illustrations of mountains and snowy trees and people climbing the mountains with tents.
And checked shoes like in the Terminator 2. Your outfit stinks.
Yeah. Handsome Rob has his Vans on.
Yeah.
His tight slacks.
They're nice. They're slip-ons. You just boop right
Easy.
in. And then walk out the door.
Right to work, right?
That's right.
And now for this wasting time with the tying of the shoes.
What an awful outfit.
Let's slip these on and get right to work.
I love Rob.
Do you like Rob's outfit?
Awful outfit.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to wear it.
Yeah,
He's taking
it's
chances.
terrible.
All the time now.
I'd rather wear an orange jumpsuit in an ISIS video than that fucking shit outfit.
Yeah, Reed's coming in here all hype beasted out.
Yeah.
He's got his joggers on. Right. He's got his own
sweatpants.
Joggers.
Oh, sorry.
No,
what they are.
I have jeans on today.
Oh.
You do?
I do. Because
why?
Because I was told I wear sweatpants too much and I realized.
Who told you that?
Everyone.
No, you don't wear sweatpants too much.
Not enough in my book.
Every now and then, Reed will put on a pair of sweatpants that more closely resembles a pair of leggings. Yeah. But I still think it's fine.
That's because of the Big Macs. Again, comes back to it.
You like stretchy trousers.
Yeah, for sure. I go big and tall, but they end up being
You like some Big
regular.
Mac fry and a Coke?
Already played the clip.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was walking in.
I wish Shitlove was still here. We'd have a whole new promo based on that bullshit that you just said.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
It is his favorite audio clip, too.
It's my favorite one. Oh, my God.
No.
I said, I'm going to get me a Big Mac, a fry, and a Coke.
Because it's just one fry.
I said, a fry.
A fry.
Give me a fry. I said, I played that clip in reference to the fact that Reed and R. Kelly actually have quite a bit in common. Yeah. I mean, right there, right? All right, guys.
I can't deny it.
Enough is enough. Actually, Paul in Michigan has one comment. Real quick before we just end this charade. What's up, Paul?
Charade.
I just want to say that it sounded like to me Reed had never even played sports. That's what you do to the opposing team. You smash them. I was in a basketball game in the woods of Virginia for a college. I was the only white person in the entire stadium.
Yeah.
And I was on the free throw line with no time left to win the game. There was thousands of blacks in there. It was unmerciful how many racist things I got called. And I made both
the plight of the white man, Reed.
anyway. And then I ran the hell out of there because I knew I was going to get beat up.
See, Reed, maybe if you ever played a sport, you would know.
I wonder if Larry Bird got racial stuff yelled at him.
I mean, I was captain of my high school basketball team, Division 1, and same school that Jeremy Lin went to, won a state championship there.
What's he doing now?
He's still playing basketball. I ended up, taking the Big Macs, but
that's okay.
How tall are you?
You ever crack any of those floorboards on the way down?
No, that was my lighter days.
Oh.
That was back when I could eat like that and still see my toes.
How tall are you?
5'11". 6 foot. 6
A
foot.
typical NBA player.
We'll call it 6 foot, but it is 5'11".
Exactly, that's what I did. Right? Driver's license 6 foot, real life 5'11".
Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you.
And Shane has a question. Shane in Indiana.
What's up, boys?
Hey,
good evening.
Hey, did that Rocky Dennis-headed motherfucker really say that baby boomers raised millennials? You know, it's like a 50, 60-year difference, right?
That's what Reed is saying.
Isn't it Generation X that raised millennials, or am I incorrect?
No,
Well,
Generation X
technically-
is after millennials.
That's not even sort of true, Reed. But Generation X is not. It's far before millennials.
My mom's a baby boomer. I know that for a fact.
So,
is she?
Yeah.
Your mom's old as fuck.
What do you got to say, Reed?
Yeah, how old is she?
Tell him you're gonna fuck up his wife.
Not a bad old crow at that. How old is she?
No, my parents are older. I guess my dad's early 60s and my mom's early 50s. So, I mean,
What, Travis?
I mean, at least the dad's a baby boomer.
That's a baby bomber?
Early sick. I'm sorry. What?
I mean, technically, I think Reed looked it up. He said I was born in '83. I don't want to age myself.
Baby boomer parents molded the millennial generation.
It
so
says-
Reed might be correct.
I'm taking a class on it.
What's the class?
Of course you are.
Like civil discourse.
It's a class called "It's Not Our Fault."
It's like, right?
By the way,
that's
by
what
the way,
it feels like. You think
this
it's
is
a
the
joke.
most millennial thing ever. To take a course called Civil Discourse Among Millennials.
Yeah, no, of course.
What's
That's
it about? What's it about?
exactly what you would think.
Having polite discussions and civil disagreements?
Oh, yeah. No, it's just definitely a lot of self-congratulations in terms of how woke we are.
Oh, that's
really
important.
I don't really talk in that class because I feel like it's just like, oh, yeah. And it's meant to be the political mindsets between different generations, Generation X, millennials, baby boomers, and how that's evolved.
Right.
But
The Gen Xers were born, I believe,
in the 90s?
No, in the 70s and early 80s.
Oh,
the
really?
Gen Xers
Okay.
were teenagers in the 90s.
Okay.
So the Gen Xers were...
I thought they were after millennials, so I don't pay attention, I guess, enough in class.
They were
after millennials.
What? No one's been after millennials.
I thought there was two generations after millennials. You know, there's definitely people after
there's a
millennials.
I don't remember.
Where millennials cut off at 97 or 96.
So what's after a millennial?
I thought it was Generation
Yeah, the
X,
people in high school aren't millennials anymore.
I didn't know that. What are they?
generation.
I don't know off the top of my head. I thought they were Generation X. So
No, Generation X was a while ago.
Okay.
Generation Y also happened before
What
the
are we
millennials.
considered?
It's cool.
What? Jim, I think at this point you're part of the greatest generation.
You know, we knew what work was, boy.
Yeah.
What
Reed said that I still squeeze into millennial category. But I think that's
You're
a
not a
stretch.
millennial.
I think that's a stretch. I think I've aged out.
I'm 50. What
You
is
can't age out of a generation.
Yeah.
You can't like all of a sudden not be
You say
part
it
of a
travels.
generation.
It travels with me.
Yeah, time.
Yeah,
Your
time.
birthday, solid.
No one
But so
used to be a baby boomer.
You're saying that you're saying I am a millennial, Reed? I think I'm probably more of a Generation Y because I'm old.
I was gonna say, although nowadays you probably could identify as a different generation and be like,
I see myself.
I was born a millennial, but I'm a baby boomer.
Whatever's after millennial. That's
Generation
how I see
Z.
myself. Yeah, I'm kind of more of a Generation Z guy.
More power to you.
Thank you, man.
What is 50 years old, born in 68? What is that?
It's a baby
Old.
boomer.
No. Huh? It is old, yes.
Baby boomer, yeah, is what it would technically be. I'm not joking.
I'm not a baby boomer.
Okay, well, check out Baby Boomer, Troy. Check out years of baby boomers. I think Jim is a baby boomer.
Gen X is early to mid 60s to the early 80s.
Yes.
So I'm a Gen X?
I guess.
No, it's not early to mid 60s.
I mean, that's what they technically said. But
because when Gen X
boomers, I missed baby boomer by 4 years. I'm a Gen
horseshit.
Xer.
You're not a Gen Xer.
Fuck yeah. We're just a couple of Gen Xers.
First of all,
fuck yeah.
Wait, when does millennials start? That's what I want.
First of all, I'm not a Gen Xer.
Yeah, you are.
Millennials are technically early 80s, but
81, yes.
81 to 96.
But there's also
I'm a
like
millennial.
a lot of people who feel like early 80s kids are a generation of their own.
Like me.
Yes, and I totally agree. In between Gen X and millennials.
That's called the cool generation, right?
Yeah, I agree.
How about
That's called the we fuck generation.
Yes.
Everybody born in the early 80s, man, we fuck.
But I
So
mean,
we're
like,
just cool.
I'm a Gen Xer.
This is why, like, Sam and I kind of have a hard time relating to Gen Xers like Jim.
Yeah, Gen Xer.
He's not a Gen Xer. It's such horse shit.
61 to 81. I'm Gen Xing.
Like, Troy, I could put up with. Troy's a Gen Xer.
We both are. A couple of Gen Xers.
These generations are way too long.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Troy and Jim are not the same generation.
Yeah, we are. We're Gen Xing.
I would love to. You know how much I love aging Troy as much
We're
as I
the
can.
same generation.
Do you get that reference, Reed?
Not at
God
all.
bless you.
Because I'm a millennial.
Hi.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we in the smoke club?
Yeah.
That's cool. You want to join the smoke club, Reed? The Jim and Sam smoke club?
Yeah.
What did I get out of it?
Just being cool.
Oh, I like being cool.
Hits from the bomb.
Yeah.
I like that song.
I love when you sing along.
Yeah.
I tell you, that might be one of my favorite low-key things on this show.
That Troy sings along every time. It's my favorite too, because he gets so excited. He's like, "Fuck yeah!"
That's a Gen X thing that we do, though, right?
That's right.
Jim, you're
Gen
not.
X
You're not.
music?
You're not a Gen Xer.
Of course.
You're selling it.
I always thought I was.
Look up Gen X, Troy. Could you
Yeah,
do
look
that
up
for
Generation
me?
What year were you born? We have to
68.
There you go.
You were
Look.
born 68?
Oh,
he
fuck.
is. He is. He's a.
I've said that. I'm a Gen Xer. Everybody knows that. Gen Xer.
Yeah, but I don't trust this because this says baby boomers.
Not baby boomers.
He said baby boomers.
Baby boomers.
You hear that? You hear that, Reed?
Baby
You hear this guy
boomers.
say baby boomers?
I heard that,
You ever heard
yes.
anything so stupid in your
How
life?
about baby boomers?
That's where the R. Kelly sound effect comes in.
Yeah.
That's stupid, guys.
Come on, you're a
it says
baby's bloomers.
1946 to 64, but Gen X is
So
1961.
just look up
there's
years
an,
of Generation X. That's
Oh, that's a great point,
there's
Rob.
an overlap, so that's
Yeah,
not
there
true.
is.
I
That's
think
it.
you're-
One message for Google.
Quit playing.
Thank you.
You know, tell us the truth.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah.
Robert.
61 to 81.
Trying to kill me.
I probably exaggerate. That's probably an overstatement, but
I'm in the middle of Gen. I can't help it.
you're not in the middle of Gen X.
Sure I am.
By the end of this show, he's going to be a millennial.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
you're not.
I mean, I'm youthful at heart.
Look at the Breakfast Club. They're
Sure.
saying first of all, the Breakfast Club is not Gen Xers
Sure they are.
because the Breakfast Club were old. When the Breakfast Club came out,
Yeah, no, Gen Xers are like reality bites.
exactly.
He's crazy, man. Fucking Judd. What was his name? Judd Nelson.
He's I mean, he's
Crazy.
a troubled guy.
Yeah, I mean, did you see what happens when you spill paint in his house?
You get a cigarette burn?
Yep.
Yeah, look.
Don't spill paint, asshole.
Yeah, really.
How about you fucking be careful with the paint, cunt?
Maybe if you were
Did I stutter?
maybe if you were tidy.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
My favorite part is how amped up they get when they smoke pot.
Yeah. Did you?
Because that's what happens.
Did you ever get a boner when Emilio Estevez talks about peeling ass hair off somebody with tape? Wish he would do that to you. You have a hairy ass net.
He does have a bit of an ass net.
Oh
doesn't
my
he?
God.
Travis has an ass net.
real
Just
fucking-
turn around on me.
It's a
Reed.
shit haven.
Did Travis ever show you his ass net?
No. We gotta,
It's not good.
you gotta leave some things for the future.
That's true. You got to leave a little mystery out there. Yeah. Gen X. If you were like in your late teens when Reality Bites and those movies came out, maybe even your early 20s. Sure. That's Gen X.
Yeah.
Not you, Jim.
I'm with Rob in the fact that these are. You said that right? They're way too long. These generate. Or was it Travis?
I said that. Don't attribute
No,
anything
I said that.
to Rob.
This is what Rob.
I've agreed with it.
This is what Rob said. This is what Rob said.
They are lying on me.
That's right. Yeah, he's tired of it. Yep. Okay, somebody has the answer to our generational problem. Todd in Houston.
Yeah, you guys are already working on dated information. There's
Thank God.
micro generations now. The Zennials are 77 to 83.
Yeah, I knew
That's
it.
what we are. We're Zennials.
Yeah, Travis and I are Zennials.
Ew.
So you're saying we don't have anything in common?
Yeah, we're just zenning out.
But we're
Jim.
both millennials.
I'm going to tell you something, Reed. I pray to God every night that we don't have anything in common.
yeah.
Damn.
A zennial. Yuck.
Yeah, I'm a zennial.
Yeah, but that's not something that cool Gen Xers.
First of all,
Gen Xers don't deal with the zennials.
Why does it have to be a micro generation?
Exactly, because they're tiny and insignificant.
I'll tell you why, Rob.
Small and non-contributing.
We don't want to associate ourselves with assholes like you and Reed. And Troy, you can. There's no way you're a zennial. I won't accept it.
Of course, you and I are the same.
There you go.
One of us. No.
When were you born, Troy?
Troy's the lost generation.
1977.
Yep. Troy wasn't.
That
Troy was
is
born,
a while ago.
Troy was born in 67.
Yeah.
77 is probably when his Troy persona was born.
Troy Kwan was born in 1977.
Yeah. Troy Henson is 64.
Yeah. Yeah, he adopted this personality. That's what happened in 77.
I believe it.
Yeah, I'd say Travis and I are zennials.
Definitely.
Reed and Rob are millennials.
Yep.
Troy is Generation X. And Jim Norton is part of the greatest generation.
I'm a Gen Xer.
I just said Travis and I are zennials. You got to focus,
He's a
Reed.
zennial.
You millennials and your short attention spans.
I was too busy on Twitter.
Were you?
No.
Okay. All right, we should take a break. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. And we have to do a few things, and
Quincy Jones will be in.
Right, so we're going to talk to him about Michael and the doc and how he reacted to it and everything.
Yes, I'm interested.
Yeah, in his comedy career. Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Wait.
Last week, we had Ari Shaffir in studio. And Ari Shaffir just kind of out of nowhere. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Ari Shaffir just out of nowhere last week. He said there was a comedian, and he said that faked cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard the clip, right?
Yep.
And so we had not heard the story.
And I was completely unfamiliar with the...
Yeah. And halfway through the story, Ari was like, well, it's not confirmed. I'm just saying it. We were like, okay, well, that's a completely different thing. But we watched the clips and everything. And afterwards, Quincy Jones, the comedian that we're talking about, reached out. And he was like, guys, I'm going to be in town. You know, I can...
come in here and straighten this whole thing out.
Yeah, I can straighten it out for you guys. And we were like, of course. Like, you know, we don't need to just take Ari Shaffir's word for your story. But welcome, Quincy Jones. Good to have you in here, man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
For sure.
Good morning. Good morning.
How did this whole thing start?
I mean, jealousy of comedians. I think that's how.
Is that what it was?
That's how I had. That's all it had to be. Because
are they jealous of the cancer or
they were jealous of the HBO special?
I see.
You know, they were jealous of the credits that I got from it. You know, what happened was I started out. I have cancer. I still have it, for the record. So I have peritoneal mesothelioma. I just had chemo yesterday, right? So I got diagnosed July 3rd, 2015. I got diagnosed in Morristown, New Jersey, at the hospital out here. I then flew back on July 5th to LA. I was in the hospital for 50 days there. I was in there for 50 days. I got out for a few hours. I said, I don't feel right again. I went back to the hospital, a different hospital, and they said I had a blood clot in my heart the size of a 50-cent piece, usually incurred by stress.
So you were there for 50 days for the cancer?
I was there because I got diagnosed out here. And then I was like, yo, they said, for the oncologist said it was going to be like, all right, it's about 6 weeks to see us. I was like, I have cancer. I don't have 6 weeks. I need to get some treatment out.
Sure.
So I went to the ER, checked myself in, made sure that they admitted me. And then that started a procedure of like taking tests, you know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of surgeries. So fast forward, I get out.
Were you in the hospital for 50 days or you just had to go in and out?
No, I was in the hospital for 50 days.
That's got to be a hell of a medical bill.
You checked it in the emergency room with cancer. Did you say it was something else just to get in?
Yeah, I said I had ascites because my stomach was filling up with fluid. You know what I'm saying? If you go back on my Instagram, you can see pictures of me in the hospital, really frail, really skinny. You know what I'm saying? So I did my first round of chemo there in the hospital. It was aggressive. I did 6 or 7 rounds of aggressive chemo. Cisplatin and Alimta. Cisplatin is the one that, is the most harshest one everyone says.
So do you get as sick as people say you get? Do you puke every day or does it affect?
I mean, I get nauseous. Like I get different side effects. I got ringing in my ears. I got, neuropathy where like my fingers start tingling and whatnot. And like right now it's been bothering me in my right thumb. But I mean, it varies. The side effects vary. Sometimes I can't sleep. So I have to smoke weed to go to sleep, and so that wrapped up 2015. A couple friends of mine, Nicole and Mickey Blaine, came to me and was like, hey, what do you want to do? Because in the hospital, the doctor said, when they told me I had peritoneal mesothelioma, I asked, how much time do I have? He says, give or take a year.
Gee, how old are you?
34.
So you're like, all right, 31, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says, give or take a year. I was like, all right, cool.
How scary is that to hear?
I mean, it was terrifying, but it was also like L.A. County. It was like the county hospital. So it wasn't like they didn't deliver it delicately like in the sitcoms. And it's like, yeah, they like woke me up. I just did like 3 milligrams of Dilaudid. I was dozing off. It was like 6 in the evening. And they're like, yeah, they walk in with like 6 or 7, doctors. And they're like, hey, you got cancer. And it spread from your abdomen to your left lining of your lung. And so you got to do chemo. We can't do the surgery. I was like, okay, cool. So I started chemo, wrap up 2015, Nicole and Mickey.
Now, are you terrified when all this is going on?
I mean, yeah, of course I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely was. I went through a breakup at the time, too. Perfect timing.
Is that why she broke up with you? Or was it?
I'm not trying to deal with all this.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly. I'm not going to act like we were blissfully happy beforehand, but she chose the worst time to check out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then we start making plans to do a Kickstarter. So we filmed the Kickstarter. It goes viral.
And is the point of the Kickstarter to do a special, or is it to pay off these medical bills that you incur from staying in the hospital for 50 days?
The Kickstarter was to do the special. And we only asked for $5,000. Okay. That was the goal.
How did you pay off the hospital bills? I mean, that seems like...
we did a GoFundMe that raised $20,000. I paid for my hospital bill.
Gotcha.
So that was it. So it was GoFundMe different from the Kickstarter, which is not what Ari said. So the Kickstarter ends up going viral. It catches the attention of the Ellen producers. I interview with like 4 or 5 Ellen producers.
Because you're thinking, I want to do this special now because I may only have 12 months. I need a legacy.
You legitimately think you're going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and the thing is, when a prognosis of a doctor's wrong, they don't like update you. Sure. You're just like, oh, you're not, okay, you're doing good. Keep up the good work. Yeah. Like, okay, I was traumatized for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do now? Kickstarter goes viral, get on Ellen. Ellen reaches out to HBO. We were going to do it at the West Side Comedy Theater in LA, a little small theater in Santa Monica. It went viral. We ended up doing it at a bigger theater. A lot of people came. I did it in LA, so all the comics that helped contribute and visit to me could be a part of it. I figured it was a special. It was a good thing. Special comes out on my birthday.
What'd you call it?
Burning the Light. So I called it Burning the Light. And then after that, like a month and a half later, just a random comic just says, Quincy Jones is lying about having cancer.
Is this the girl that Ari was talking about putting it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, did you know her?
I'd seen her at an open mic or two. We weren't friends. She didn't come to visit the hospital. I didn't know her like that.
You just knew she was a comedian.
Yeah, I just knew she was a comedian.
Right.
Now,
did she say she was a friend of yours, or or she didn't? Okay.
No, she didn't say that.
You had met her, but you didn't know her well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Never hung out with her. Never anything like that. So just at an open mic. And so she said that. And at that time, I had just gotten a high-pec surgery in Baltimore with Dr. Richard Alexander. And they were taking the 45 staples out of my stomach as I'm reading this. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This has got to be a joke. I don't believe this is happening.
And in your head, I would imagine that you're saying, well, this is happening to me. There's going to be a lot of backlash against this person if she's actually being serious.
Right.
Because you don't take somebody who's sick and like accuse them of faking it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it divided up a lot of comedy communities. A lot of people were like, yo, I visited him in the hospital. I was there when doctors talked to him. There's no way he's lying about having cancer. She just said this with no proof.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing to me. That's the most upsetting thing about everything is like, no one provided any proof. It was up to me to provide proof, and I'm like, and my management at the time was like, no, don't just ignore it. Don't think anything of it. Just let it go. I was like, okay, well, that's what you guys think is best. But it kept going.
Yeah, it's terrible advice by the management.
Yeah, it kept going. Like really kept going. Like I didn't know how far it came all the way out here to New York comedy scene. People were like, are you lying about having cancer? I was like, what? How am I lying about having cancer? Where's the lie? Where's the proof? We got other comics lying about being in 9/11, but we fact checked them, but they're still getting booked. I lost everything. Like all the good stuff that happening. I lost management, lost representation, lost bookings.
So the management that told you not to say anything, eventually it was too much, and they were like, we're going to step out.
But why? Don't you have proof that you have cancer?
Yeah. I IG live it every 3 weeks. I do it every 3 weeks. I just did it yesterday.
Do you have paperwork proof?
So glad you asked that.
But I figured he would because I saw him open his bag when he sat down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all you should do is you should put this on your Instagram, block out whatever information that is too personal.
Personal information.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Hold on.
He has pulled out a stack of paperwork. I mean, this looks like it's probably
describing the type of cancer from 2017. Reason for the exam. Go ahead.
Believe me, I put my glasses on. You'd think that a real gentleman is about to. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah, like some medical expert is about to.
Dr. Jim Norton.
Yes, and they're using your real name.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Now, does it? So, at what point did you go? I have to start telling people that this is bullshit. I have to explain that.
I addressed it on a Facebook post. You know, I mean, obviously it's not as major a platform, but you got to understand, Sam. Like there was Reddit threads going on about me. I had people wishing death upon me. You know, like people were like, "Oh, you're that." Like I was no longer like, "Oh, the guy from Ellen," but the guy who's lying about cancer. And when you press him, people would be like, "Oh, you're not lying about having cancer." No one thought to fact check.
I'll be honest. If you fake this. Boy, you put a lot of work into these.
Does it say he's got cancer on that thing?
I haven't said the word cancer, but it's abdomen and pelvis. It's all medical shit.
Mesothelioma?
Peritoneal mesothelioma.
Pancreas, gallbladder, adrenal glands are unremarkable. Oh, they insulted your. They said unremarkable. That's not pleasant.
So I think that the evidence that the only real evidence, quote unquote, that I've heard or seen, and again, we've been aware of this story for
Sorry to interrupt
like
you,
a
Sam.
week.
31-year-old male with metastatic mesothelioma.
That sounds like cancer to me.
It sure does. Metastatic means it's
metastasized.
It's metastasized.
Yeah, it's spread.
That means it's spread. And which is what you just said. It goes to the lung or from the abdomen to the lung.
Read this out loud?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says in 2014, patient began to have abdominal distension requiring monthly paracentesis.
Paracentesis taps.
Yeah,
tough even with the glasses on, huh?
Yeah, with 4.5. No, I just didn't know the word.
Yeah.
Draining each time in 2015. Patient followed up with MIS in clinic and was found on PET. 5/28/15 to have a 13 mm hyperbolic peritoneal nodule with no evidence of disease. Now, I don't know what a lot of this means, or at least correct myself, any of it means.
You were very confident when you said nodule, though.
I mean, that's a confident word.
Yeah. I will say this. This is legitimate medical fucking paperwork, and it did say that, and his real name is on the top right corner. I don't know if you've said your real name, but it's up there. So this seems very legit to me.
So
as a high school dropout, I read these medical documents, and I concur that they are legit.
In the week that we've known about this story, the only evidence that I think we've been presented with, unless I'm wrong, is that people are like, well, he's got a beard. So can you explain how does one keep a beard? And do chemotherapy?
Yeah, like I said, the aggressive rounds, I lost my hair when they put me in the maintenance chemo. Cisplatin is the one that was the most aggressive one. When they had me on Alimta.
What does aggressive mean with chemo? It's just it's the harshest.
Yeah, it's the harshest mix of the cocktails you could. You know what I'm saying? And like the thing about chemotherapy is it's just they're letting off a radioactive bomb in your bloodstream to kill everything, including the good with the bad cells. So they did that. I did that for 7 rounds. Boom. They put me on Alimta, and my hair started growing back, but not as fully as it was before. You know what I'm saying? Eyebrows thinner. I have, definitely dry skin all over. The side effects are legit. And people are saying that's the reasoning. It's like he has a beard.
That's what
Ellen
I've heard.
asked you about that. Yeah, she did ask you about that. And because Ari was telling us that it was we thought it was confirmed that you had faked it. Then when she asked you about see, Ellen knows. But now maybe she was just asking you.
Yeah, but then it wasn't until after we watched the Ellen clip that Ari was like, no, I mean, there's no confirmation. I'm just saying this. Jim and I were like, oh, well, okay, that's a different story. And by the way, we should say, we didn't invite you to say, hey, prove it to us.
Yeah,
this is about you kind of having a platform.
You reached out, and it's like, I would like to get the story straight.
Yes. I mean, I was happy, and then with a major platform like this, it was definitely cool. But even some of your people, I don't the internet's a vicious place.
I've never experienced that. It's been all compliments.
I know, that's my favorite. But no, they were just like people wishing death. You go on dates. I'm dating around, and people are like, oh, I Googled you. You have a Reddit thread saying you're faking cancer. What's up with that? I'm like, all right, well, this concludes the date.
So you have to get into your medical history on every first date.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, how do you smoothly drop you have cancer too?
Sure.
Right. I used to wait till the 3rd date. You know what I'm saying?
So the cancer, what is the status of your cancer right now? Are you in remission? Are you simply treating it?
I'm just treating it. It's controlling it. It's not shrinking it. It's not spreading. Oof. Like the drug I'm on, I just do this every 3 weeks until it stops working. We don't know when. We don't know when. So I think the reason why I was able to be so fortunate because I was surrounded by loved ones. You know, like the external environment was good. I was getting a lot of love.
So you didn't hang out with Ari Shaffir that much?
I didn't. No, unfortunately. I think that's why he said that. I didn't hang out with him.
They can only kind of just stop it from spreading right now.
Right.
How come they can't do anything to? Is that just the type of cancer it is, or they can't?
Yeah, the thing is, most cancer is where like it clumps up in cells. So you get like a fistful of negative cells, and they like do chemo and that erodes it, and then they do radiation that shrinks it, and then hopefully it goes away. Mine doesn't like clump up in cells; it gets in the lining of my organs. So when I was going to the hospital with the distended belly, it was because there was fluid filling up in there, and it was like 3 months, you know, like really tight. And so I went through that. And so that's what they were draining it constantly. And they were like, well, we don't know why this is happening. Hence the test. They did a biopsy in June. Boom.
So, I mean, just because I have it here, stage 4 mesothelioma, which is what you were diagnosed with.
Correct.
And this is, again, I think why people jumped on the suspicion of everything. The median survival rate for stage 4 mesothelioma is 12 months. Many patients are too weak to withstand aggressive surgeries. Although stage 4 is considered terminal, some patients continue to defy the odds and live years after their initial prognosis. So the median survival rate is 12 months. People are kind of expecting it, you know, and it's coming. But there are people that are kind of living exactly the way you just described, which is through treatment and just...
You have stage 4.
I mean, I have stage 4. It gets bumped up whenever it spreads. The thing about that is also because I got the same quote from the doctor, Dr. Byron Jennings. And so when I got that quote, I asked him, what was the age of the people who were in the study? Like, can you cite the source? They were 66, 67 years old.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where I got the cancer from. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't know what caused it or where it came from or if it's just genetic or one of those things.
Right. We don't know. I didn't have any asbestos. I didn't work in a shipyard. I didn't work in a mechanic shop where traditional people get it. So we don't know where I got it from.
Do you get mad, like, you know, because I bitch and moan about, you know, if little shit goes wrong. Do you have any of this, like, what the fuck to God? Or do you have any of that, like, why me?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, like whenever someone dies, it brings it closer to home, my mortality. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a friend or, you know, a comic or something like that, you're like, damn, you know, that's crazy. Like, I'm still here. And then you got people wishing death upon you on the internet, like not even just out the blue. Just like, oh, man, I thought you'd be dead. Like, you still Google Quincy Jones comedian, first thing pops up, is he dead?
Right.
No, I'm not dead. I'm here. So I'm not dead. I'm not faking cancer. I'm unrepped also. So
why did the management, what happened how did they tell you they were leaving you? And if you're like, well, I have paperwork, like, how do you guys not stand by me? How did that happen?
I mean, I just think we weren't a good fit. And that was, you know, the way things were getting heavy. They didn't know how to handle it. How do you handle it? You go from a comic who's at the top for a second, and then he gets torn down. And they don't know how to they're not the publicists or anything like that. So I don't blame them. I don't fault anybody for anything. I'm just surprised at how crazy the world is.
Now, what about with Ellen too? Because she helped you get this. Has she responded to any of this, or have you reached out? Has anybody reached out to her again and go, they're killing me. They're telling me I don't have cancer.
No, I did. I've dealt with it all on my own. I've had to ignore it and just be chill or address it, you know, randomly or something like that. But to me, it's just like, I don't understand how people could think that.
Mm-hmm.
How can you fake cancer? How can you get on Ellen and fake cancer?
Well, I get where people would think that there are liars,
sure,
right? There are people who fake stuff. Jim, you were telling a story about somebody that you knew that fake
leukemia,
fake leukemia.
Many years ago, a guy in a 12-step program faked having leukemia. That's, I mean, people did it for the attention, and then it spins out of control, and then.
I mean, look what happened with. It's a cancer, but look at what happened with Jesse Smollett.
Yeah,
who said like who would fake what he faked? That is crazy. But sometimes people go into these crazy places when they want attention,
and they don't expect it to spiral out of control or become as big as it becomes. So that's probably how people could go. So what about this girl who said this? Does she still do stand-up?
You're talking about the comedian that first...
Yeah, the one who first said this. And have you confronted her?
No, I haven't confronted her.
Why?
I don't. I mean, I'd probably beat the shit out of her.
Well, can't you write something and say...
It's starting to sound like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Can't you write her something and put in a piece of the paperwork and say, what are you, fucking stupid?
The thing is, like,
Or can you sue? Can people? I mean, not that you should. You know, I'm not for frivolous lawsuits.
That's not a frivolous lawsuit. If somebody's accusing you of lying and it's hurting your career... about something like cancer, which is very provable.
Yeah. I guess the biggest thing for him is like no one tried to prove anything. No one tried to back up or research at all. You think I get on Ellen and go through interviews with 4 different producers and no one's fact checked anything?
Have you looked into the legalities of people who are going on the internet? And I don't mean the anonymous trolls and whatnot, but I mean people in comedy that are going into public places and saying this guy's lying. Isn't there some kind of ramification for it?
I mean, I'm sure I could sue for libel. Libel or something like that,
And
or
in
defamation of character. But I, to be honest, like I don't like to go to court to sue another broke comedian is not going to do anything for me.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it might clear your name in the sense that
people would see that you.
Yeah, if he was lying, he probably wouldn't be suing.
Dr. Steve is on the line. Maybe he can ask questions that we wouldn't know to ask.
Shed some light on this.
Yes.
What's going on, good doctor?
Hey, man.
Dr. Steve, of course, he hosts Weird Medicine here on the channel on the weekends, and it's on demand and everything.
Yeah, are you? I'm not sure if you've been listening. We're talking to comedian.
Of course.
Oh, you have.
Never miss a show.
Okay, I like the attitude.
Keep that in.
I think there are evidence. There is evidence that you have missed shows in the past. But go on, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, I don't know
exactly
what
a
to
live
ask
listener.
or what to look for, but I think he's telling the truth. I mean, there's a lot of paperwork here.
Yeah. Okay. So stage 4 mesothelioma is the question, correct?
Correct.
And mesothelioma is a tumor of the lung that often involves the chest wall. Can be very painful. And when it's stage 4, that means there's only 4 stages, so that means that it's spread. Stage 4 is considered a terminal illness. People who have treatment will live longer than average. The average treatment or the average lifespan with treatment of stage 4 mesothelioma is right around 12 months. Now, that means, there's a significant group of people that live much longer than that, and some of them may live much longer than that. So there's a huge variability in humans. And he may just be one of the lucky.
So there's no
I don't know anything about the case.
No. What should we ask? What should we ask? Because I think he's telling the truth. He seems very honest, and that there's a lot of paperwork here. What's a question that we could ask that somebody who has been through this process for real would know the answer to, but somebody who's faking it wouldn't?
Sure. Well, first thing, what kind of treatment did he have? There are people who have lived 10 years with stage 4 mesothelioma. And, there was a drug trial at Duke University that was pretty successful. Okay, here we go. I just found something about Quincy. If you want, this is from a website on peritoneal mesothelioma from asbestos.com if you're interested in seeing what they have to say about it.
Yeah, of course. If you're interested, we're interested, Doctor.
He was diagnosed with stage 4 peritoneal mesothelioma. Okay, so this guy had it in his abdomen, not in his lung. He has lived more than 3 years thanks to chemotherapy. Oh, and his love for laughter, it says here. But, that's not one.
Too bad you can't edit that out like Wikipedia. Sometimes they throw in these little things that are not helpful.
Yeah, Dr. Steve, do you think laughter is the best medicine, or is the chemo more effective?
Well, I think chemo is probably more effective.
I see. Steve Jobs disagreed, but
yeah, he sure did.
We all know what happened
Right. The prognosis for peritoneal mesothelioma may be different than lung mesothelioma. I'll have to look that up. So,
but there's no red.
It's certainly possible if he's lived 3 years. That's not outside the realm of possibility.
No, and
there's no red flags here as we have the conversation, as we've had conversations in the past. You're not sitting here going, clearly, we're not addressing something.
Yeah, because he wants to clear his name and not be called. If you're being accused of lying about something that big, and you have an HBO special based on it, you don't want to be, fucking called a liar by somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about.
I mean, if he really wants to prove it, it's pretty easy to do. All he has to do is produce the biopsy results. He shouldn't have to do that. No one who has terminal cancer should have to go, well, here's my biopsy report for everyone to see. But if he really wants to satisfy everybody, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, do you have that? I mean, not with you, but...
Yeah.
So have you ever put that on Instagram?
No, Yeah, like the doctor said, I didn't really feel like I should have to do that.
Yeah.
I sort of feel like
wait, this is Quincy. You got Quincy on the air
Oh, he's right
now?
here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I told you he wasn't listening. Yeah.
Oh, boy, somebody was listening. Were you listening to the show? Yeah. Oh, wait, there's a man in studio?
I'm in my office. I'm in my office.
Yeah, and your office only gets channel 100.
Yeah, apparently. Who does Howard have on today? Hey, okay, yeah, we have Quincy here. That's what I'm saying. Is there anything we could ask that we wouldn't know the answer to?
God damn it, Dr.
Oh,
Steve.
no, yeah, okay. Yeah, so, it's awesome. Where did you go for your treatment?
I went to L.A. County, and then I went to Baltimore to get a surgery from Dr. Richard Alexander.
Yeah. So you had, I'm guessing, debulking surgery, and then they did some chemotherapy afterward?
Yeah, I did the HIPEC surgery.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, there's no reason to think that he's not telling the truth.
Yeah, and that's kind of why...
Absolutely not.
What you guys said earlier was why I was kind of clarifying that this is more about Quincy having the opportunity to clear his name, not prove anything, because I fully agree with what you just said, Quincy, and what Dr. Steve said, that, I mean, to see... For somebody to have cancer and then to have to prove it publicly is like so
It's
dehumanizing.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But there is something satisfying about when you're proving it. It's to shut somebody up, and like that woman who posted that, it's like a tremendously embarrassing thing for her. If
she doesn't even do comedy anymore.
Oh, she doesn't.
That's the thing. Like she bought a farm in Idaho or something like that. She's doesn't do comedy anymore.
And she's never apologized to you for your
No
false
one has
accusation?
apologized.
Every cancer patient wants to beat the odds, right?
Yeah.
So, they say, well, you got a year to live, and now it's 3 years and then 4 years, and you beat the odds. And then that should be a joyous thing. And then to have to turn around and defend yourself as if you never had cancer. And
You're supposed to be dead. You got an HBO show.
Dude, that's what Ari said.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, the HBO. People ask me like, yo, HBO special. Like one dude thought I made $1 million. He came up to me at the Comedy Store. Was like, hey man, I don't even know why you're still at the open mic, man. You're set. I was like, what do you mean I'm set? He's like, your HBO special. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, didn't you get like $1 million? I was like, let me put this in the context for you. Chris Rock got 40 million for 2 specials, right? Or something
For
like
Netflix,
that.
yeah.
For Netflix. Chappelle got 60 for 4?
Something like that, yeah.
You think I got $1 million my first HBO special? I was like, come on, man. But like people don't think, and like no
Especially
one
because HBO probably gave you a bad deal because they were like, you only need money for another 6 months or so.
exactly.
What are we?
Yeah.
But like it was just for me, like I'd never experienced anything like that. It was a different level of hatred, especially when like I try and show love and be supportive and be a positive person. So when I randomly got attacked for this and no one provided any proof, I'm like, all right, well, I think it's how quickly people jump ship. That's the crazy part. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Troy stepped on the phone on the floor.
What is that?
His foot hit the phone on the floor.
Oh, it sounded weird. It sounded like an animal.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Stupid place to put a phone.
It is stupid.
I can't imagine that other comedians would somehow be jealous of somebody in this business. Surely Jim will confirm that they're all very happy when other people succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. We really root for each other. But Ari did say, it was very funny because he did admit, like, I don't know if it's true. Like, that's the thing. He's kind of like, he's almost pathologically honest. He couldn't help but say, like, I don't know if it's true or not.
But he loves gossip.
He loves gossip.
Yeah.
So weird.
Now,
and Quincy reached out to us and said he wanted to come on clear and like, of course.
So what do you do? Like you go, okay, this is a whirlwind, right? The story is kind of going everywhere. Then I go on Ellen, it goes viral.
Right.
Then I get this HBO show special. Everybody watches the HBO special. Do you get to this place where you're like, I'm still here. Like, what do I do now? What's the next move?
I mean, that's what I thought management representation would do. You know what I'm saying?
When did they drop you?
They were like, we're done.
Let's see. The distribution with HBO lasted for a year. I think we broke up around 2017.
Okay.
So like March.
When did you shoot the special?
April of 2016.
Oh, 16. Okay. It was 3 years ago. Wow, too bad Ellen never had you back on, or tried to. That's an interesting follow up. Maybe she's not aware of all the shit that's happened after.
I mean, people are busy. Ellen's like a feel good story thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she.
Right.
And so with probably no proof for her or for whoever, she probably felt like, all right, well. If he, like, I don't know. No one reached back out to me.
But she also probably doesn't want to get in the weeds in this thing.
Guys.
Sorry, go ahead, Dr. Steve.
No, I'm sorry. I found while you guys were talking, I looked up peritoneal mesothelioma prognosis, and it is significantly better than the lung version. Matter of fact, it says here life expectancy of peritoneal mesothelioma is a much more favorable prognosis than those with other forms of the disease. Many patients survive 5 years, even beyond 7 years. So that's for peritoneal mesothelioma. This is not uncommon. And the one thing I'll tell you too, Quincy, is that we I work in a cancer center. We are coming up with new things every day. Literally, I'm only barely exaggerating because we'll have manufacturers' representatives in here with new stuff all the time. We are approaching a generalizable treatment for cancer that'll be immunologic. And I used to say it was 100 years away, then 50, then, we talked about this the other day about the pancreatic cancer. I really just think it's barely a decade away.
Dr. Steve, we need it in 2. We need it in 2 years. Let's get a move on. yeah. Let's get a move on this
Dr.
thing.
Steve, are you familiar with Keytruda or pembrolizumab?
Sure, absolutely.
That's what they're trying to move me on through experimental with patient assistance through Merck program.
No, Dr. Steve thinks you mean Truvada because he's on that.
What does Truvada do, Jim?
Jim, what is Truvada? Little prep humor.
Sorry, if you want to answer this question.
But the key is to kick the can down the road as far as you can, because they're going to have something else for this down.
What about the things that Quincy just asked? The two things.
The medications.
Yeah, no, those are incredible drugs that are being tried in different tumors, and it's for people who are out there that want to get involved in maybe a clinical trial. You can go to a place called clinicaltrials.gov and just put in mesothelioma or whatever you happen to have, and see if there are some clinical trials for you, particularly if you've exhausted regular treatment.
Boom.
Have you thought of doing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm. I'm about to start moving on.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. It sounds like a clinical trial. So.
So
that's great, man. Well, I'm going to congratulate you for beating the odds, and I'm hoping that they can continue to beat the odds on this one. And if I can ever do anything for you, feel free to reach out to me. Jimmy's got my number, so does Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Steve is amazing.
Appreciate it,
He's
Dr.
amazing.
Steve.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Dr.
All right,
Steve.
nice talking to you, Steve. Take care.
All right. Take care.
I'll talk to you later, man.
But Sam, you're wondering what do I do now after that? It was like, my thing, I write a fuck ton of material, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like had this negative shit, had this lie not spread about me, I could have gone further. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could have pitched a show. I could have, had something. My story alone was probably worth something, a book or something like that. But because of this, everyone backed off so quickly and jumped ship that it was like, oh man. So I had to fight and prove shit, on my own. And just, it was draining and tiring, especially when you're doing treatment every 3 weeks, you know? So what I'm doing now is working on my next special. And I'm trying to talk to HBO about getting another one. I'm here.
Well, you do, by the way, have an interesting story, though, even though it sucks that people did that. But if there is a follow up for a book, it's a very interesting story to have cancer and get a special. It's a more interesting story to have cancer and get a special and then be accused of faking it when you're not.
Yeah, are you writing material about all this experience? Because I think a special, a perfect follow up comedy special on HBO. Would you going up there and saying?
I definitely address it in my new hour.
Yeah,
I just ran my new hour last Wednesday in LA, little small theater, and so structure wise, like the material's there, and I just talk about what you have to be to be able to try to fake cancer. It's only for like 5 minutes. I address it. I don't do it for a whole hour or anything, but then I get to the jokes, and it's a solid hour. It's better than my last one.
That's a good book. I
think there's a book there too.
There's a book in that too. The whole experience for the last 3 years of beating the odds on it, and just everything that's happened. That's a very interesting book.
I was depressed for a while. Like I was really depressed because I'd lost everything. You know what I'm saying? When people are looking at you say you have an HBO special, are you repped? And you're like, no. What do you have going on? Like, no. They're like, you don't have anybody? I was like, no. And so I was like, all right, well, what do? I kept writing material, but like I was depressed and I wasn't there. So I went to Europe. I went to Europe for 5 weeks in 2017, and sort of that got me sort of right, mentally, and like recentered me. And then
were you working or just relaxing?
Just a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I got on some shows, elsewhere. It's still showing internationally, so that helped a lot. But yeah, did that, and so came back in 2018 and tried a few different things. Tried colleges, realized that wasn't my shtick either. So just focusing on putting out this next hour, taping it and putting out and pitching a show then based on my story, because the sitcom I wrote, the pilot I wrote, was about a guy gets diagnosed with cancer, has to move in with his Mexican girlfriend's family. You know what I'm saying? And so like all the hilarity, black guy, Mexican girlfriend, yada yada. So that was the show that I wrote. And so like I figure at the heat of promotion for this special, it'll be great to.
How long have you been doing stand up?
10 years this year.
Wow.
So you were about 6 years in when this whole thing happened.
Right.
That's fast to get an HBO special.
Right. So it's early.
It is. I'll be honest. I didn't expect HBO. I didn't ask for it. It was a total surprise.
Absolutely.
But I'm also not going to turn it down.
Of course not. It'd be crazy to turn it down.
So I took the special, and HBO believes that once you're in there, your family, whatnot. So I'm going to talk to him while I'm out here and pitch the new hour to him, show him the footage. But yeah, it's I think the best thing about when you're a comedian or you're an artist and you put out anything, the important thing is to show growth in between projects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've had 3 years and a whole fuck ton of life experience now to talk about into this next special. I also did 1,000 sets in a year in 2013. So it's not like I was just like a casual open micer who got thrown. Like they gave it to me because I was ready. They gave it to me because I was funny. And that was the best part about I'm an optimist, so I find the positive in anything. The best part about the room to lie was that no one could say I wasn't funny.
Right.
That was it.
Have you thought about
special? No one could say, "Oh, he's not funny," and he's lying about cancer, and he's not funny. It was just like it was a solid special, but I was lying about cancer. I was like, all right, well.
Have you thought about confronting anybody? Like, have you thought about like getting it on video, like saying, "Hey,
it's a great documentary." Go around talking,
finding
to
the girl,
who accuse you of lying. Yeah, good point. Find the girl.
Yeah, and say like, "Hey, we're face to face now. Bring your stack of paper that you just showed Jim and myself. All the stuff that Dr. Steve says is there. Here's the results. Here's the thing. Explain to me now, what information do you have that I don't have? What information do you have that I need to supply you?"
Show her original Facebook post. Yeah, I guarantee you she would not agree to be on camera.
No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't. People tried to pitch like a podcast with her when she was still in L.A. Like, do you want to come and address it? No. You don't want to address someone who you accused of lying when you know you don't have any proof. That's dumb.
Right.
So it was like, plus to be honest, I have no interest in doing that.
You don't want to do that.
I don't like, that's me dwelling on negative stuff.
I do feel like though, and I'm with you in the sense that if you can just kind of rise above whatever's there and just let the material be the material, you can get past most. But when you got something like this and you've got within your community, within the comedy community, people are spreading this thing, this idea that you're lying about having cancer. And it's such a story, right? Like it's a story enough that Jim and I immediately, when we hear there's a comedian lying about having cancer, we're locked in just because that, whether it's true or not, that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me think that this is one of the few exceptions where you do kind of have to go out of your way and spend some real time and make the people who are spreading this
answer for it
and look like fools, because otherwise this thing is going to spread. There needs to be some kind of succinct, whether it's a video or a post or something, like this is so that whenever this rumor comes up again, somebody else can post, no, they dealt with this and here it is.
And have people heard your explanation and then still said you were lying after they heard you explain it and saw paperwork or whatever.
That's the main reason why, is like people still believe that they want to believe. Like I provided proof. I've shown the pictures of me in the hospital. I've got the chemotherapy. I do it on IG Live. I stream it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if anybody doesn't believe me, it's because they just don't want to believe.
Or they like the narrative of not believing you. They like the idea that somebody lied about it and they can be mad.
But here's what I'm thinking. Because I'm just thinking the way people think. The reason I believe that the story about you faking cancer spread so quickly with no information was because it's a sexy story. It's a story that people, you know what I mean, Jim. Don't make that face at me. Why, you didn't like that description?
Maybe not the adjective sexy. I'll be honest.
But you know what I'm saying.
No, I know, but like
juicy,
he's fucking, like he's Woodward. You know, stupid asshole.
No, I get where you're coming from.
And I feel like you need to have something in response that is equally as attractive to people, and people like confrontation. I think that it's one thing to say like, hey, I've got all this proof over here, why is everybody ignoring it? If you had something that was a confrontation where somebody looked foolish,
Just run up on like InfoWars dude. Just run up on me.
Exactly.
I mean, literally, Carlos Mencia's career ended.
It imploded. Yeah,
it imploded because not because of accusations of joke theft, but because there was a video of him getting confronted for it, and that's something that like. I don't have to be a comedy fan. I'm going to click on a video of watching this guy get confronted for something and go, ooh.
And this is legitimate. It's not like you're confronting for like you're not for like, oh, I'm going to just make something. It's like they're accusing you of faking, you know, an important part of your life. It's almost like
it goes beyond comedy.
Yeah, like they're saying that you didn't. This is not you. You lied to be. They're accusing you of something horrible.
Right. Like if somebody sent me a link and said, hey, I got a link of this guy that you don't know and you'd never heard of, but he's confronting some other guy that you don't know and you've never heard of for telling people that he's lying about cancer when he's not. I'm watching that video. I want to see the confrontation.
I think also for me, like the difficult part of it is that I wouldn't even know I would only know the first person who started that.
Right.
You know, I can't track her down, you know, so
sure you can. Somebody can.
Somebody can?
If you have somebody who's willing to do.
But if she's out of, I get what he's saying. If she's out of the business and you need to hire like a private investigator.
Or you get somebody who does documentaries, or you get somebody who understands that world or could do a 1 hour. It doesn't have to be like a fucking 8-part, you know, making a murderer. It can just be a 1 hour thing or a half hour, whatever you want it to be.
It could be a 5-minute YouTube.
It could be anything you want it to be. Exactly. You know, just get someone to produce it and let them do all of the heavy lifting.
There were so many people, Jim.
What's that?
There were so many comics who were commenting.
There's a bunch of people to show their posts, to show what she wrote. You pamp, and this one refused to be on camera, that one, and then some guys would come on and apologize. Some guys would double down. It'd be interesting.
I mean, that's why, you brought up the 9/11 thing. That's why the Steve Ranazzisi thing just became so huge, because there's a 5-minute video of a guy lying about being at 9/11. Whether I care about comedy or Steve Ranazzisi or whatever, is this real? I want to see this guy lying about 9/11.
And Steve has talked about it too, I think.
He's admitted. Oh yeah, he admitted it. He's talked about it.
He's addressed it.
He's addressed it.
But the thing is, like, he's still getting booked.
Yeah,
he's on TV. He's great, and his career's going good. For me, it's like for a person who actually lied about being in a national tragedy, and for a guy who's not lying about having cancer, and the difference of treatment is ridiculous. I don't know what the backlash was for when Steve got exposed. I don't know that. But I do know that the shit I'd have to go through, the hoops I'd have to jump through, is way more excessive than anything else I've ever done.
You need, I think, a larger platform to say it on, because people don't know the story. I just heard of it. I mean, I'm in comedy. I just heard of it. So let people know more. And again, maybe if it's not Ellen, then somebody else like that high-profile TV to come out and go, look, this is what's happened.
I mean, you guys got millions of followers. I'm sure someone will, spread the word to somebody. But
hopefully.
I reached out to Ellen. I reached out to the producer of Ellen and was like, yo, this is happening. Like, we should do a follow-up story. I thought maybe they do it in a year, right? Hey, comedian had a year to live. Nothing. 2 years. Nothing. 3 years. Nothing. So now it's at the point where we're coming up 4. I'm like, all right, well, I've given up hope to try and get on Ellen. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, like, everyone left. Everyone. So I had nobody really. Only people who were defending me were the comics who came to the hospital and saw it. You know what I'm saying? Who visited me during chemo.
Isn't it crazy how that could, rumor could start like that and not be true?
Yeah. But I mean, it's one of those people, there's a sick part in people's brains where they want to believe it. You know what I mean? You want to believe
the original post. Give me a second. I have the girl's original post. The crazy part is that we were Facebook friends when she did that. We were Facebook.
So you saw the post go up.
I saw the post. People were telling me. Like, Jeff Dye reached out to me and was like, hey, is this true? I was like, no, it's not.
See, at least Jeff asked you.
Yeah. Instead of just reading the post and be like, oh.
Yeah, Jeff asked you.
Give me a second.
But isn't that wild? Like, it's all based on, well, he does. Yeah, he's got a beard. Like there's all this medical. He's got all these papers. He's got all these posts on Instagram. But the rumor is so salacious that you're like, yeah, he's got a beard. I mean, Jim, we were locked into it when we thought it was true.
Sure, because then you start looking for clues, but we thought it had been confirmed beforehand.
We did. Ari
and then Ari sprung it on us. They had no idea what he was talking about.
Ari unfortunately did lead us astray in that. Scenario.
When I heard it and I was listening to it, I was like, yo, because he's first is like, because he tried to segue from the juicy joke to like, remember that comedian who faked having cancer to get an HBO special? It was like, how do you even, what?
Yeah, we were like, what?
Ari has notoriously bad segues.
He does. He does. He does. And I'm sure, I mean, Ari is honest to a fault.
Yeah, I think that he, because he did tell on himself at the end that he didn't know.
He did. He was perfectly, he's like, I just think that this is true, but I don't know. I don't know.
He's but a conduit.
I'm here to just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why I think, sometimes normally I'm with the idea that, you just let people say what they're going to say.
Well, we should look up Quincy Jones lying on, we should Google that, just see what it says.
Yeah, I'm down. Look it up.
Quincy Jones lying on what?
No, so we could see some of the people who have, if he Googles that.
What should he look up, though?
Oh, just Quincy Jones lying and just see if anything comes up. And then you can see people who have, there might be something that might not be.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because Quincy's looking up her original post, so maybe it will come up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when those rumors, when you have, you're in a scenario where people are so much quicker to believe the rumor, you just have to get in front of it,
Yeah, oh no, that wasn't almost.
How come you went with Quincy Jones as your performing name?
I was dating a chick at the time, and she said, "I'm gonna come to the open mic and boo you." And so I started.
What was her name? Diana Ross.
I went to. I started in Seattle at the Comedy Underground. I was there, and they don't allow first name or one letter sign up. So I was like, at first I put Q. They're like, what is it, Quincy or Quincy? I was like, yeah, Quincy. Like, what's your last name? We don't do one names either. So what is it, Jones? I was like, yeah, Jones. Quincy Jones. So I went with that. Did 3 minutes, and so it sort of went with it.
Why don't they allow one name?
I don't know, man.
If that's your name?
So
they wouldn't let Sinbad go on?
Well, if he's doing signing up for open mics or stuff, they just don't want people you're not a character, you're just a guy.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, there was a bunch of people who said that.
When did the post get posted? Like, how long ago did the
Quincy's looking for it on his phone now.
It's July 2015.
Oh wow! So 2015 is when it kind of starts.
I'm sorry. July 2016. Correction.
So 2016 is when it starts to bubble.
Almost 3 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, special came out June 2nd, my birthday. So special came out then. A month, not even a month later, I get the surgery on July 7th, and I'm coming out of surgery, and I see that shit.
Yeah.
I'm getting the staples taken out. I see that shit. You're getting staples taken out of your fucking stomach, and you see someone saying that you're lying. You're like, it's going to fuck with your brain a little bit.
And have you sat there, every time you think that, okay, I think this has died down, I don't think people are really talking about this anymore, it pops back up? Are you going oh my God, you got to be
It's the most random shit will pop up. Nothing that'll even trigger it. It'll just randomly. Just a couple months ago, comic in New York. Hey, that comedian lying about cancer dead yet? I'm like, what? I don't. Yeah.
He said what on?
Did you set it on Facebook? You're just like,
what comic?
I don't remember his name.
It's Sean in Wisconsin.
Let's go to Sean.
Hello,
What's
Sean.
up, bud?
Hey, guys, I 97% believe this guy.
Okay.
And the only reason the 3% is hanging out there, and maybe he's just a way better person than I am, but if somebody lied about me like that, I would tell the doctors, listen, next time you're in there, give me a needle full of cancer cells. I'm driving to Idaho, and I'm injecting her at her little Idaho ranch with cancer cells and say, look, bitch, if I don't have it, you don't have it. Boom.
Yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been some kind of a confrontation.
Sure.
That would put me, not that much gets me rageful, but that would get me in a rage.
I don't know how I'd handle it if I had been diagnosed with a terminal illness. I would handle it I think I would handle it now, but if I was Quincy and I don't know what that feels like.
I know it might seem like I'm hella chill about it, but it's only because I'm black. And if I get angry, I'm gonna spaz out and I get enraged.
See, that's what Sam always says.
Right, I get angry. I've been dealing with this. I've felt the rage. I've wanted to fucking hurt people, but I also realize that's kind of the price of it. You get some good news, the opposite of the universe is going to balance it out with something bad to try and tear it down.
Just seems like there's more bad than good.
I mean,
like it seems like surviving, not being dead of cancer is the good news.
Right.
But everything else, they're just piling shit on you while you're still here.
If that management company left you.
Okay, we found the Facebook post.
I was having the hardest year of my life before I took on the care of my mother who was recently diagnosed with dementia. I think I'm doing this because I'm just out of fucks to give about protecting myself from what this might bring on. Quincy Jones is lying about being terminal. I begrudge no comedy opportunity he's gained, but do begrudge how much money he's made on it. If you donated to him and want to sue him to get your money back, contact me and I'll help you navigate that, and I will not charge you anything. The second post on August 13th. Now that was July 16th. Okay. Second post. I've been told accusing Quincy Jones of financial fraud is wrong because I have no proof. I do have proof. While I cannot share all the proof I have at this time, I can share the proof far and away more convincing than the proof many people are criminally convicted on every day. Others think I did this out of jealousy or bitterness. I honestly just blah, 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 blah. So the point is...
Should I say it? I'm not going to read it.
Go ahead.
So was the proof ever presented?
No, Sam. There's no proof.
Yeah.
You can't back up a lie.
Right.
You can keep backing up a lie with more lies, but there's no proof.
Right, and the reason there's no proof is because she's
lying.
Right, I understand. Okay, that makes sense.
This random motherfucker just said that with no nothing. I was looking for that. I knew I fucking had it.
Yeah, did you screen grab it?
No, it's favorite. It was in my favorites.
Let me ask you, she said that Quincy Jones is lying about being terminal. Now, is she saying that you're lying about having cancer or that you were lying about the prognosis?
I don't know.
She's saying lying about being terminal. So, I mean, her words are not that you're lying about cancer, but being terminal. But either way,
it's still.
I mean, we just heard Dr. Steve.
Sure, it's a terminal diagnosis.
Just because he's not dead yet doesn't mean it's not terminal.
And just because the prognosis could be 1 to 7, or that's still a terminal diagnosis of stage 4.
Yeah, he beat the odds and is surviving longer, which should be celebrated.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it's not terminal.
Not with comics.
Yeah.
Not with and you'd think that if I had blown up and turned into like an asshole or something like that,
right?
And was like just Rick James and motherfuckers and just like slapping. I can understand people like, yo, this dude's fucking tripping. Like fame's gone to his head. I'm still at open mics. I'm still working on material. I'm still, supporting motherfuckers. People get good shit all the time. A lot of comics get good shit. I'm still encouraging them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm being supportive, and it's just amazing how quick shit changes. Let me find a voice recording for you guys real quick.
Who's it a voice recording of?
It's of the doctor. Of the doctor. Let me say, I'm trying to find.
You can always tell because you can tell a doctor's voice.
Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
when you
I'm
hear
listening to you guys right now. Oh, he's in studio.
He was lying. The doctor was lying.
I'm going to accuse Dr. Steve of lying.
Yeah, Dr. Steve. So far, I believe Quincy Jones, the comedian in here, way more than I believe.
That's right.
Dr. Steve.
Yeah, guys, great show today.
All right, give me a second.
So we got comedian Quincy Jones. Who's that?
Yeah.
All right, good. Glad
I have found no holes in comedian Quincy Jones' story and several in Dr. Steve's.
But listen to this. This is the paperwork. That's a stack of paperwork.
It's a hell of a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
It's.
So just to give you guys context, this is them. I told you they woke me up out of dilated dreams to fucking tell me this. So I went.
So did they know it was being recorded? Did you record it just so you had it, or?
Yeah, I told them. I was They knew.
I think you guys were coming because it was so late in the day. So it's just in my abdomen?
It's in the abdomen, it's in the lung, or the area around the lung, that whole lining of the lung.
The whole lining of the lung?
Yeah, it's in that whole area. So the treatment that we would offer would be chemotherapy, which is, drugs through an IV.
Mm. Is it just in those two spots? Or...
That's what we can see on the scan. Now, sometimes the scans don't see everything.
Right.
The way this tumor is it sort of goes throughout these linings, so it doesn't show up as a big ball or a big tumor necessarily.
So how much time do I have?
So, in the studies that they've done in the with the lung version of this, which is very similar, with the best chemotherapy, the average survival was about a year.
Okay.
That was average. Now, obviously, some people do better, some people do worse. Some people respond really well to chemotherapy, some don't. And the only way to find that out is to start giving it to you and see what happens to your tumors.
So how soon can we start chemotherapy?
We can start as soon as tomorrow.
Let's do it.
I mean, that's pretty
Wow.
convincing. I'm really glad that you recorded that.
I'm really glad you were doped up too, because that's a terrible diagnosis to hear, and you handled it pretty well.
Is that why you recorded it? Because you were doped up and you wanted to make sure that you got what he was saying?
I mean, like I was on like 3 or 4 milligrams of Dilaudid, like through the IV. So I was drugged up because I got it every couple hours for pain. And so I mean that's also the thing. Some people would be like, oh, I see Quincy Jones drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I see him drinking. I see him having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the time, I mean, I just put out a special. I just finally gotten rewarded for all the toiling I'd done in comedy, open mic. So I was happy. I was in a good place, but also am in pain. I do take pain meds a lot. So for people to be like, oh, I see him out having a good time, he's definitely lying about having cancer. It's like, you guys, your stories, your excuses are getting weaker every time I hear it.
Yeah, that's a rough one because you do hear that sometimes, and it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Don't smile. You have cancer.
Right. Makes no sense.
Don't feel good ever.
Yeah. So it's like, so I got the proof, I got the biopsy, I got the recording, I had all this stuff, and no one bothered to do any fact checking. My oncologist, Dr. Gino my oncologist was like, do you want me to go on Ellen? I'd love to go on Ellen. I was like, I don't know Ellen like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I could,
Dr. Steve is going to try to squeeze on. No,
Yeah,
I'd be happy to go on and plug Howard.
So it's that's what it was. I was mad because I've dealt with cancer my whole life. My mom had cancer. Non-blood related Hodgkin's lymphoma. My grandma passed of pancreatic cancer. I've dealt with cancer my whole life. So for me to have cancer and then someone be like, you're lying about having cancer, plus all the shit that you got with survivor's remorse, you know what I'm saying? You got people, I literally have people on social media being like, my grandfather had peritoneal mesothelioma and he died. And I wish you were dead and he was here. And I was like, damn, all this, for what?
Right.
For what?
Right.
Like I'm not going to I'm supposed to apologize for living. Sorry I didn't die.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the name of my next special is called Still Here. And, and like I'm just trying to move on from it and address it and hopefully, do things differently this time around, We
have a couple of people. Ashley in Arizona wants to ask a question. What's up, Ashley?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Ashley.
Yeah, Quincy, I'm so fucking sorry. And now that I just heard that clip, I kind of feel bad that I even called. But I think until I had heard Ari on the other day, I didn't really know your story. So I started looking it up, and I think it was the terminal part that was getting to people. But that clip that you just played is kind of a tell-all that you were under the impression that, you were going to die. And it's awesome that you're still here. So I guess my question has turned to a congratulations on that. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say was that the terminal part didn't line up. So
thank you, Ashley. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Dr. Steve was saying too. That it's supposed to be good news when you have a diagnosis that's terminal and you don't end up dying as quickly as they thought you were going to. That's just supposed to be like, oh, great, terrific.
Well, Dr. Steve said, the prognosis for this one is much better. So I'm thinking 20 years, 5 years, or 7.
Yeah.
Like, it's terminal, but it's a much longer, relatively speaking, 5 to 7 years, a lot better than 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. And Eric has some advice. Eric in New York. Eric, you there, bud? Hey, bud.
Yeah, hi, guys. Yeah, listen, I'm hearing the story. It sounds like he has all the documents to prove it. The only thing you need, man, you need to hire an attorney and sue this woman for defamation of character. Because if she ruined your career like that, if for 2 years you haven't been able to get on Ellen or get a special or get booked somewhere, you have a great lawsuit against her.
Yeah, I mean, if
it's hire an attorney,
if it's cost you income, I mean, that's kind of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have money for a lawyer. I don't have it.
I think lawyers work on a percentage.
Yeah,
something like that.
For those type.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if you could find out
of her anyway.
Yeah, it's actually
if she quit comedy and just move,
that goes back to your point about
it's not
suing broke comics. It's like, what are you gonna get?
Right. I mean, I can get my name cleared.
You can get your name cleared,
but at the same time, now it's like you think management. You're in the industry. You think management's gonna come back around and be like, hey, all right.
Other management might though. Whatever shipper has left you, especially if it was just for this. If it was for other reasons, that's one thing. But if it was for this. Other management will, I'm sure, pick you up. And I would suggest, personally, I would just do some kind of a filmed piece on it because it gets faster. And a confrontation or just presenting all the facts and how crazy this is because it's an interesting story. And it's also a great statement about believing a rumor that you have no reason to believe, other than the fact that it's more fun to believe the rumor than it is to believe the truth. The truth is less interesting. Wow, this poor guy got diagnosed and it sucks, and he's gonna, he has a terrible diagnosis. But the rumor of he lied, fuck, that's interesting.
You got to make.
Or Sam would say it's sexy.
I mean, I tried. There were times I tried to reach out to Amanda Seals.
Yeah,
blocked me and everything. Like the reason why, like these people don't want confrontation. Mainly because they
did Amanda Seals say stuff about you?
Yeah. Amanda Seals was like, oh, yeah, he's lying about having cancer. Blocked on everything, every social media site. So I've reached out to people.
Did you know Amanda?
Yeah. I knew Amanda.
And then what happened that she decided to turn and say?
I have no idea. I met Amanda when she first moved out from New York to L.A. Met her at a show. Took her around to open mics. I show love. So when that happened, I was like, I felt completely powerless. That's what sent me into depression. Not just Amanda Seals, but like everything weighing on me. Just being like, yo, like I haven't been booked at a club in over a year. I've reached out to the clubs I went to. No one's fucking with me. A new management company, Avalon. I just got word through a contact. They were like, yeah, we're not. No one's really gonna fuck with them because of the faking cancer thing.
Oh man! Like, so it's really hurt your career.
It's
terribly.
really hurt, dude. Like I'm like for real, like all not fucking around. Like
right.
It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm trying to work a day. I can't work a day job because I get treatment every 3 weeks. Otherwise I would. You know what I'm saying? Because it usually puts me out for a week. 3 to 5 days. So that's gone. So I'm trying to figure out how to hustle, how to make bread. To keep a roof over my head. And I got motherfuckers, when I have great show ideas, been rewritten over and over again to pitch, and people are like, yeah, nah, we're just not fucking with this.
We're not even reading
All right, well, on Twitter, it's not that Quincy Jones. Oh, not that QuincyJones.com. And it's at LLQJ206.
LLQJ206. Feel free to apologize. Feel free to book me.
Well, hopefully this will help, and we'll post the interview on our YouTube channel, so that's at least something that you can pass around if you want to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity to come up here.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just important, and Jim did too. We both kind of instantaneously agreed that if we're going to have the conversation without you, you would be a
much better guy to have in the studio.
Component in the conversation to have it with. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to be here. And just so everyone is clear, they didn't ask me up here to be like, oh, man, come defend your name. I reached out to them, and I was proactive, and I was like, I'd love to get on the show, and defend and clear my name finally on a major platform. Yeah. You can't just clear your name via Facebook.
Right.
You can't just clear your name via, I doubt a video will go viral for me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it was at. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming in.
For sure, man. Thank you, and we will see you all tomorrow.
I'm going to be in Orlando Friday and Saturday at the Improv.
Oh, very exciting.
Goodbye.